All right, everybody, welcome in to the third Cities in a Snap event. I'm going to be your host today, Lemon Pops, and joining me today, we have Slayer 3K88 coming in. Let me unmute him here so he can actually say hi. There we go.
What's up,
welcome
guys?
in, man.
How's it going?
It's going good, man. I'm looking forward to this. We've got pretty good competition. I mean, two of these guys we saw last time, too, so should be pretty cool to see him compete again. So Everdream being one of them here. Let me switch over and show off the players. So Everdream, the two-time champion currently. Yed, sitting in here, his first time competing in this. Kiggy85, also his first time. And KRX, well known by a lot of y'all out there in the Skylines community. And what they're going to be doing today is they're going to be competing in a 2-hour speed build competition. And the way this is going to work, each of them were given a map here about 10 minutes ago. So none of them have had any experience building on this map. It's one I selected today off the Steam Workshop, one of the top maps out there. And if anybody wants a link to that, let me know in chat. We'll get that out to you. But yeah. So they're going to have 2 hours using any assets, any mods, anything they want to use to try to create the most impressive city design. And Slayer here and I are going to be sitting here hosting it for you. We are going to have you guys vote. That's how it's going to come down. You guys are going to be the determining winner. Or you're going to be determining the winner of this event via your vote from chat. So make sure you go check out these streamers throughout the course of this event and make sure you take a look at what they're doing. We're going to base this mostly off creativity. That's the best way to do it. I was thinking about this over the last month and a half. What's the best way to judge these guys? How do you judge whether the Mona Lisa is better than a Van Gogh painting? It's very difficult. It comes down to your personal preference, what you like best. And yeah, it's going to come down to really basically that. So I'll be dropping a link in chat and all the other streamers will be dropping that link in chat as well once we finish up this event. So, do you have anything you wanted to add before we get this started, Slayer?
No, does everyone have a multi-Twitch? Has a multi-Twitch been set? I got one going, if we need to share that too.
Yeah, if you got the link to the multi-Twitch, drop that in chat so these guys can see it.
I'm going to throw it here so everyone can see everybody.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I got timed out.
Well, prepared. Oh, Kulu's got us. Awesome.
There we go.
Thank you.
I'm going to throw this in to all the chats.
Cool.
I'm getting timed out in chats. It's fine.
That's
fine.
all right. People will get it figured out. Cool, man. All right, so you guys out there ready? We're going to go ahead and kick this off. Now, do we have the mods in chat from the other streamers, too? I want to make sure you guys are in here to be able to tell them. But we're going to be starting this off very shortly. Musty, welcome in, dude. Mira, it's good to see you. King and Zunza. The Pax, good to meet you, man. Welcome to the stream. Very soon. iMystic. And Laszlo, thank you so much for that sub, dude. I really do appreciate that. Compound Killer, thank you for the follow. Wolf Plasma, JJam Jim, and Kazjem, thank you guys for the follows as well. I really appreciate it. All right, we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Hopefully everybody out there is ready. And we're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, hopefully they all get the message. Yed looks ready. I can see him poised over the resume game button. So Everdream does not look prepared at all. He looks like an intermission screen there. Yeah, so what are you expecting to see out of these guys? Like, So Everdream...
I only heard a little bit prior to, and I think Karex was talking about a little bit of elevation work. I know Kiggy has a little bit of a different style. Everdream often does a lot of disaster work, so I feel like we will see a little bit of that. I'm not sure what Yed's gonna do. I'm not sure at all what Yed might bring to the table here.
He started with the drink of water. I think that's a good way to start.
As you do.
Take a calm, cool sip of water right before you kick it off. All right. You're here for Kiggy, Laszlo? All right, man. Well, luckily you guys get to decide. So it's really coming down to that. You know, we initially had some concerns about whether giving it to the audience would make it more favored to the bigger streamer. But so far, Ever's been kicking butt on these.
Yeah, he's done such a good job mixing in some different elements. I mean, I think last time we watched him, he went for a very not so safe routine of using disasters in the city, which
that blew me away. That
really blew me away. You'd expect.
In the middle of a speed build competition to drop disasters. I mean, that was really impressive. And yeah, especially with him personally, like he's had a lot of time to think about this. He knew beforehand that he was going to be invited to this one because he won. I like to keep the winner involved. So, he's had a bit more time to prepare, I think. He could have been working towards this for a while. But then again, a lot of these guys could have. I think at least a couple of them got the word that they were invited quite a while ago. So people like KRX and Kiggy have had a bit more time to prepare, I think.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is they all play this game a lot. So and like we talked about last time, everyone's got their own style, and that's fun to see. And KRX is unlocking the entire map right now, it seems. But it's always fun to see, like in 2 hours, what these folks come up with, because you've got. Like last time we had Azili, who's very much a detailer. You had Taradra, who's very much just builds everything and plays with no mods.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun to see how folks figure out what they want to do.
Yeah, it is going to be pretty interesting. And, Yed specifically sort of warned me before we came into this. He's like, well, I'm going to be bringing something interesting to the table. I hope you're okay with that. And already I can see, what is that, like 6 buildings he just dropped in one spot? What is he doing?
So I have no idea.
Oh my God. Yeah. He said he was going to do something crazy.
This is going to be something. I don't know what this is unless he doesn't have Move It on. I don't see it at least.
Wait a minute. Are all these residential? No, they're not all residential. I was going to say, maybe he's going for like 1 million population all in one spot or something. I mean, that would be interesting. Traffic. Oh, you're right. Yeah, that would be very interesting to see. All right, let's cut over to Kiki here. Want to make sure I give everybody equal screen time too this time. So if I'm getting off on that, definitely pull me back on track. Yeah. Here we go with Kiki.
Looks like Kiki's just setting up some road work right now. I've seen Kiki do some interesting stuff. He had a really good idea on a build. I think it was Kiggy not too long ago, where I saw him and he was doing like this really cool zoo. And he uses, like, from what I've seen, he uses a lot of space. Isn't scared to use a chunk of space for something. And I'm very curious about what he's planning here. It looks like he's going to do some beachfront property. And
does he do that often?
I don't know. I've seen more so like a little bit of his urban work and stuff.
Okay.
You've got, oh God,
secret weapon.
You flip over to KRS real quick. He's got a mountain right now coming out of the ground.
Oh, I like that. That's looking interesting.
What's happening there?
This is what I love about this competition, man. Every single player approaches this game differently, and that's really what we wanted to highlight by showing this off. I mean, KRX starting off with like a volcano, like what is it called? A caldera? Isn't that the name of it?
Your guess is as good as mine.
We're not all geologists, but I think that's what it's called, a caldera, when it's like the center blown out part of a volcano. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with that.
God. What is he?
It's very interesting.
What is happening?
But the packs, his secret weapon, are you talking about Kiggy? Kiggy's secret weapon or Yed's? Because yeah, Musty here, unique style for Yed. And yeah, King and Zunza. So the way it's going to work, it's going to be just based off whose city you like best, whose creativity really shines through in this competition. Who do you think utilized the assets more effectively, did more with the terrain, really impressed you the most with what they were able to come up with in 2 hours? That's really just what we're looking for here on the building criteria. And again, of course, at the end of the stream, we'll be putting that link out so you can vote on that. So stick around. Stampy Pants, thank you for the follow as well, man. I know, yeah. Dixco, KRX, he has a very steady style about him too. So him coming into a speed build competition has got to be an interesting challenge for him. I mean, Slayer, you've watched his stream a fair amount. Like,
oh yeah,
his cities typically take him 40, 50, 60 hours to complete.
Yeah, I mean, he builds. It's interesting because I've gone on there and I've seen him build, and he can build quick and he can build slow. But what I've seen him really advance on is just his layouts and stuff. He had a desert city he did not too long ago, and I told him, I was like, that was some of the best like neighborhood layouts and stuff, especially for not playing like so detail oriented. But he had these beautiful like just lines in terms of all his residential areas, and it just looked like you were flying over in a plane.
Oh, wow.
It was really impressive. But this to me is very interesting, like whatever he's up to right now, because he's building this massive mountain And this is not what I expected. I know last time he used a lot of what the terrain offered at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and now it looks like he's building his own terrain very heavily. So I'm very curious to see what he comes up with here. And I noticed So Everdream, his patient style, is kind of doing the same sort of setup where he's really focused on some nice organic road design and stuff like that. So looks like he's still playing to his strength there.
And I really like the LUT that Everdream uses. I see this one a lot on his. He's got this really bright green, vibrant color to it too. I think that really makes his cities in particular pop. The dark roads with the green, it creates like a really good contrast for their city, at least aesthetics for me. On top of the interesting road design as well.
Yeah, there's always. I think everyone has that that look they want. I go for something a little bit closer to what CareX has, but with like a little more saturation.
I see.
And you're right. Like Everdreams is usually very, very heavily saturated. Like his greens, I remember last time were very, very rich. I think it just, there's. It depends. I go for like I'll shoot a lot of photographic stuff, kind of in game and stuff, and I feel like typically from that standpoint to make it look a little bit more real. Sometimes I think a little bit desaturated looks a little better because natural game colors tend to look a little bit overly saturated, but it's all personal preference, really.
Yeah, since you do a lot of detail work, like which mods do you use to get those really awesome screenshots?
Do you want me to boot up the game and then so many?
Is there a huge one?
So many.
I got to imagine relight, specific LUTs.
I have right now in the latest city I was working on, I had realistic 1v2, I think is what it is. And then I was using the Sinu theme, I believe is what it is. And then mod wise, I mean, dude, there's so many, like everything from realistic population to move it, which pretty much everyone has. I recently have delved into the world of procedural objects.
Oh, really?
Which gives you really the ultimate control. Yeah, that was
deep,
like,
man.
Yeah, on a whole nother level, right? But
right.
It gives you the customization you can't normally get. And then beyond that, there's a lot of standard mods with like road design mods and stuff like the parking lot roads, like all those sort of things that just kind of add layers to like what you're working on.
For sure. Yeah. And they create variants in the city as well too. So it just really breaks it up.
For sure.
So typically when you're going for a design like this, where would you start? Like if you were in the shoes of the competitors here, like what sort of design do you think you'd go for?
Oh God.
Because 2 hours is not a lot of time.
No. And for me, it's really tough to figure out because 2 hours for me is like, I might lay down a street and a couple houses. But I think for this, like if someone were to ask me, hey, what do I do here? Like what should I do? I mean, I think Everdream's got a pretty good idea. Like he's done it a couple times and it seems to be effective is really setting up a close, tight knit road network, focusing in on that where the later, let's say hour or so is just really about zoning and minimal adds to road design. Terraforming to me is sometimes a little bit sketchy because you can definitely get into this pit of like you're terraforming and doing a ton. So if I were in a position of like, how do I build something that's decently sized relatively quickly? I'm like, okay, well, hey, we let's focus on road design and use what the terrain offers to begin with. You know what I mean?
I do. Yeah. And my biggest problem with terraforming too is that I always end up messing it up and spending 3 times as much time trying to correct, especially around rivers and stuff like that. It's much more difficult than it looks. So to see KRX dive into that right off the bat, that was pretty impressive. That's a bold move. It really is a bold move.
Yeah, he's but I know he can make up time because he's so familiar with the game. I mean, he's got so many hours.
Oh, Benji Bass, it's good to see you back in here, man. I hope you've been doing well. And Token Squirrel, good to see you. Neo, the one and only, man. It's good to see you back, dude. Appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Yeah, there's the multi-Twitch link for all those out there. If you're not watching all 4 streams, you're doing yourself a disservice, man. Go check these guys out. Check out their chats. They got great communities out there. And of course, Slayer here as well. He's a fantastic streamer. Does a lot of GTA RP nowadays. So if you're into that, check him out. Also his detail work.
We'll be diving back into some detailing one day.
For sure. Soon. That was how I met you, man. I think I saw one of your screenshots on the subreddit, and then I found your stream and went from there. It was like, it was just so impressive.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So looks like I'm liking Everdream's road layout here. I wish we could zoom out real quick so we could see it, but it's kind of centrally focused. But he's expanding beyond that. But I like the mix of some organic curves and then the, kind of a little bit of grid system hinted here and there, but harder lines mixed in. We've got a roundabout. It's a very efficient way to put a roundabout in.
Honestly, yeah, and look at where he's putting these too. Just right off the tips. He's putting even a smaller one in there. Look at this. I love this.
He's gotten really efficient at that. That's nice.
He is, yeah. This sort of reminds me of like a crop circle area, and the way that breaks that up is unique. I mean, you don't often see people put small little cul-de-sacs / roundabouts in tight little areas like this. So when this is all complete, this could be a really intricate pattern.
Yeah, and I definitely see what Yed's up to now.
Oh my. Okay, let's check it out.
It's hard to see, but he's if he zooms out, you'll get a solid idea of what he's going for here.
Oh, it's nothing graphic, is it?
No.
Okay, good. I was like,
it's all PG.
Okay, good. I want to see this then. Man, he is flushing this thing. He's already at 12,000 population too.
He's got full speed going.
For sure.
He's nonstop. It looks like everything. So I'm wondering, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think some of those buildings he placed early on were to try to bring up land value.
Ooh, yeah. Would it? I mean, they have a range around them, don't they?
Yes, they do. So he stacked a bunch, but look at how the buildings are just like raising up and getting taller.
Maybe he knows something we don't.
Here. Looks like it because,
it seems to be working.
I'm a plopper, so I just put down whatever I want.
Yeah, true. I've tried that, man, and as much as I would love to do detail work, I do not have the patience for it. I cannot spend that long on just like a because then like inevitably I'll spend like 20-30 minutes on like one little block, and then I zoom out and the rest of my city looks like crap, and I'm like, it would take me like a month. It feels like it would take months to go through. It seems overwhelming
easily.
at that point. Which is probably
it took me probably 5 hours to do a lighthouse, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
Lighthouse with a rock cliff.
That level of patience is impressive. Benji, yeah, it's good to see you, dude. I know it's been like a year since you've been in here, so I'm glad you were able to catch me a little bit. We're doing kind of an interesting stream here today. We're doing a speed build competition between 4 other streamers. All 4 of these guys are live currently too, so if you want to go check out their streams, you're more than welcome to. But man, yeah, I'm just really happy to see you. And Jade, welcome in. Did you miss anything? Well, they've only been going about 15 minutes so far. And the competitors, Kiggy, So Everdream, The Yed, and KRX. And all 4 of them are live right now on their own streams. Yeah, I don't think you can, King. I don't think you can. But Kazjam, it's good to see you in here as well today, man. I checked out some of your VODs. You do some pretty impressive stuff with City Skylines. We'll have to talk. We'll definitely have to talk for the next one, dude. Because I was pretty impressed. Just throwing that out there. Sorry about my voice today too. I'm like barely able to speak.
It happens. I see. I think I see kind of where KRX is going now. I'm thinking we're gonna have some water feature popping in here.
Oh, for KRX?
Yeah, looks like something. He's got a path. I wonder, is he going for a waterfall?
It might be like a stepped waterfall coming down the side of this, but he might also do something interesting with like cable cars or I don't know.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, we haven't seen anybody use cable cars actually. I don't think in any of the competitions thus far. So that would be interesting to see somebody bust that out. I sound fine. That's good. I'm glad I sound okay. My voice, I feel like I have a chicken or maybe a chick stuck in my throat, like a live chick. Yeah.
A whole chicken.
Yep, an entire live chicken stuck in my throat right now. Spooky Kitty, hello. Welcome in.
So let's see what Kiggy's up to here. He's zoning a ton of residential. He's playing at the first speed. He's got some roads, some parallel kind of roads laid out.
It does look like he's being pretty meticulous with this. Doing the residential zoning here. I haven't gotten a good look at the rest of the city he's done so far. Do you know where that tunnel goes over to the left?
No, I don't. I don't. I just found it. Maybe just the other side of the highway.
Yeah, I could just be breaking the city up into two parts. This would be the residential section. But, yeah. Be interesting to see where he goes from there. KRX still working on that little valley. Let's go ahead and take a look. So Everdream again. Oh, So Everdream's got a canal put in here. Interesting.
I'm so proud. He's doing a little canal plopping.
Is that a new thing for him?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I've seen him do it, but it's been a minute since I've been in the category. So
gotcha.
Looks like he's he's laying out like a little island here.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do like an airport or ferry. I mean, it'll be interesting. Anything you put on an alley with a canal between it should be interesting to see.
Yeah, when people do stuff like that, it always reminds me of like kind of a Dubai and stuff, where they have some of those like man-made islands. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it would be amazing to see. That's ultimately my hope with this competition is that some of these guys, like I was thinking Iron Chef when I came up with this. If these guys were given like 3 months to prepare and just mastered, like just really worked on like one plan, like I'm going to make the Dubai palm tree island thing. And then just, didn't matter what map I threw them on. They could just come in, level everything and whip that out. That would be the most impressive, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, then again, I'm still trying to work on this competition. So we're working it out. We're working it out, definitely.
And I see a massive waterfall showing up.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, KRX, you were right. He did decide to do a water feature with that from that volcanic caldera.
That's beautiful. I really like that.
That's going to look really nice. I want to see like whether he builds the city around it or if he just focuses on like park around there.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I want to know sort of where he's going to play stuff. It looks like he has sloped the sides to offer, for roads and stuff like that.
Ooh,
but I could totally see, like you said, doing some like trams or something like that up there.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. My hope for cable cars is going down quickly here. That's his Chirp-X launch site up there, isn't it?
Yes.
You know what? I totally forgot he does that.
Yep.
He always, this is like a KRX patented tradition. They always put the Chirp-X launch site in there. So very cool. And that water looks cool too. I think that's the Clara theme.
It could be. I'm not sure.
It's hard to tell. Oh, now some rock
detailing really clean, as well. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting caught up looking at this. Let's go ahead and switch it over. Kiggy over here, still working on his. Now, for some reason, every time I switch to his, it freezes for a second there. But he's getting a parking lot put in. Sort of playing within the bounds of the city, it looks like.
Yeah, we've so it's interesting. It looks like Everdream's gone a little bit more. He's doing like a little bit of work on a hotel. So I feel like this is slightly different than what I expect, because about this time for him, I saw him doing a lot of zoning, and I feel like he's gone a little bit more detail oriented. So KRX is doing a bunch of terraforming. You have Everdream doing a little bit more close detail work. And you've got Kiggy and Yed doing a lot of zoning right now. Just planting a ton of zones.
That's very interesting. I like that asset he just put there too. It looks like he's backing out of the plan. So Everdream, but he
oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool looking asset. Do you know which one that is by chance?
Yeah, it's is it the Hyatt or something like that? It's a hotel. I know that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I have it on one of the maps. It's a huge building, but if you can you could do a lot with it. Like you could build like a custom pool around it if you really got into detail work, but it looks pretty nice especially from a distance. It's just a massive asset.
It really is. I'm glad that he was choosing to put that on its own little island too. I think that'll really make it pop. If he does end up going with that though, because he did back out of it there for a second. So Yed here, switching back over to him, looks like he's got primary. Now I still haven't seen what this overall design is. Oh, there we go. Yed. I like it. Is this, oh wait, are they all letters?
Yeah, it says vote Yed.
Oh, vote Yed. I love it. That's one way to win people over.
Yep.
Just
got an ad for a city. I like it.
Very nice. I mean, it's creative. That's what we're here to vote today on. It's just really who has the most creative, impressive city. I mean, you can do anything in this game, and that's really also what we wanted to showcase was just how much you can do with this game. And these guys are definitely doing a great job of showing that off here today. Vote yet. Miss Compound Killer out there throwing it up for her boy. Very nice. Very nice.
So let's see. KRX is starting to lay in some roads, and it looks like he is using some of those paths to get the to bring the roads up to the appropriate height. And he's slowly working his way around the mountain using those slopes.
Yeah, and it looks like he's just going to connect it straight in there. So it looks like he's planning on using some of these plateaus for parts of the city, too. The way he's laying the road on the inside. Is that a tram track? Or just a regular highway?
I can't tell. I haven't seen it close enough.
Yeah, I think that was just a texture glitch there. Yeah, they're probably just regular highways. I know, Miss Compound Killer, you're stuck in the middle on so many of these. I know everybody wants to vote for everybody. But I think that's exactly what makes it so interesting, because a lot of you guys are already members of one or more of these communities. So having to make that choice keeps it fair and balanced, I think. You really got to vote on what you think is most preferable to you. Which design choices you like most. Who really impressed you with their creativity here today. And Mira, thank you as well for being here. It's good to see you. So Kiggy over here, he's dropping a fairly large parking lot complex.
He's taking the time to do parking lines, which that can be a It
can be a time eater. We'll see if he puts in a handicap parking. That's like a big thing in our stream because we have some people with disabilities who watch my stream, and so it's like we got to have handicap parking or I will get reamed.
Yeah,
they do not like it.
Yeah, but honestly, something like that is just a detail-oriented thing. I've been chewed out too. I think Azili did it last time around because it's not something when you're doing your city, some of the buildings, some of the assets come with it. But when you're doing your own custom parking lots, it's something you have to take into account.
And, that brings up a very good point about this game in general that I think that's one of the aspects that I like most about it is it made me think about cities in a whole new way. Like, especially when it came to traffic, like trying to deal with a population of even 40,000 people is hard. I mean, it takes some careful planning and some careful road design. And so this game totally changed my perception of just really driving around on the streets of the towns around here and stuff like that. It's just opened my eyes and I look at things in a totally different way.
Oh yeah. I take a lot of, whenever I travel, it's like you can kind of go and you look around and you see how other cities handle things and, set up their roads or whatever. Like I was recently in Chicago, which is a traffic mess. I've been outside of Atlanta, which is another traffic mess. It's like, well, let's not take too much from these guys. Let's do our own thing.
Yeah, and Portland, Oregon is like 70 miles from me. It's like the biggest city around here.
Yeah.
And their traffic systems are one of the worst in the world. Or not in the world, but in the country. Just like statistically, it's a lot of the roads that are major roads, even in the downtown area, are like gravel roads from 1870 that were never expanded or anything like that. So it's a traffic nightmare, man. And it's totally changed my perspective of what it takes to reshape a city. I mean, you can't just kick people out of their homes and put new roads in always. Not in real life anyway.
I know, right? Like,
yeah.
There's side effects. Yeah.
And you can't move downtown really, which is, I think, one of the ways they try to address it is just by shifting the downtown major population centers and shifting the places that the civilian population will occupy and need to travel to. That's one way of addressing those problems.
Well, what's interesting, Kiggy does have handicap parking coming in.
Oh, nice.
But I will say, like Atlanta, for example, you have this situation where people live Atlanta is so spread out, and not in the Chicago sense, but it's almost like big, like clusters of city. And that's what made traffic so difficult, is it's all based around, your main point of transportation is through highways, but it just turns into kind of a mess because it's gridlock.
I feel like Kiggy is overdoing this handicap. I think somebody mentioned it to him. Somebody must have gone in there and mentioned that he didn't have handicap parking because he just went nuts with it.
I'm looking through his chat to see if someone said something.
Yeah, see, I don't have their streams open because it would hide your image,
Oh
your
yeah.
video, so I actually don't get to see. Guest host today is Slayer 3K88, and I'm sorry, I
Hi
just
there.
realized I did not put that above his face here. I should
Well,
have.
it's actually not 88 anymore. It's just Slay 3K.
Oh,
We did a name change.
oh, really?
Surprise. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I didn't put it everywhere then. That makes it even better. We can go with the rebrand. But yeah, Jadina, it's going good. It's good to see you in here today. You find yourself critiquing IRL now too much. Yeah, I totally get that, Kazgem. I totally understand that. It's got me thinking about it. And some of the traffic problems are like, why would they put an avenue right here instead of a 2-lane highway? This is dumb. You know, as I'm like driving through a city. Yeah, totally makes me a little bit more frustrated with how these city designers work. But at the same time, one of the major things that stood out to me was times traffic lights. I want, like, if you ever get the inclination, I want you to go through your Skyline city and manage to manually link an entire traffic grid together with time traffic lights that are perfectly lined up for how much traffic you have flowing. At like, good luck. Okay, you want to invest 50 hours into something that you'll never get right? Right there. That'll do it. Oh, start complaint. Yeah, Musty. I get that, man. It's good to see you in here too for this. A number below his face. What does he mean by that, DC?
I'm trying to figure it out. What does that mean? Shadow, what does that mean?
A number below his face. I feel like that's a slam.
I'm trying to figure what that is. It a good number or a bad number?
I don't know, but he's laughing, so I think he got us both right now. I think that's what happened.
He tricked us into something.
Looking at what KRX is building too, though, he's got a very, very large walled plateau. And that's pretty interesting. One thing that
down a single zone yet, by the way,
I don't think he has. I don't think he has.
Because I remember after the last time he said, I think I spent too much time doing terraforming and all this stuff. And we're what? How far are we in here? About 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're almost 30 minutes in. And you know, this is potentially a good sign, because remember what I was saying earlier about, you know, seeing these players come in and really make the map the creation that they want it to be. KRX knows how long it takes him to build a city. He's got plenty of hours. So if he's spending this much time, chances are he knows what he can build in the remaining time. He's not going to fall short. So it's really cool to see him popping this out. One thing, though, that people tend to forget is these walls don't look huge, but a lot of times those walls are like 70-foot walls. And I find that kind of unrealistic. The game doesn't do a good job of portraying height, I don't think. How do you feel about that?
I would say scaling is always an issue. And that was, and not to talk poorly for the game or anything, but I was kind of disappointed in like the some of the campus stuff, because I feel like a lot of the buildings are scaled improperly. Some are too large and some are too small. What I would have liked to have seen is, instead of how they set up the campuses, is like you have a campus for like a technical college, or I can't remember what the lower tier is. And like some of the buildings are absolutely massive, like something you'd see on like a larger school. And it just throws me off. It kind of, like you said, it seems unrealistic. It sort of takes me out of, I guess,
immersion.
It is immersion, right? Like, and that's a lot of times that's why I prefer the plopping aspect, is I can pick and choose kind of the scale I want to stick with and try to follow that as best I can. Or I have to spread out buildings to make you not look at them side by side. But there's definitely some scaling, like, you know, some of the walls you put on like the edge of the water and stuff like that are very, very thick and take up a lot of room. So that's when I start looking at custom assets that are scaled or sized a little bit differently.
You know, it's really cool that they have so many assets available in this game too. They have just hundreds, like over 130,000 or something like that. It's an insane number.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them may be repeats or lower quality versions or remakes or something like that. But you know, there's easily 50,000 that you could use. I mean, there's assets for everything. There's KFCs, there's Walmarts, there's Home Depots. I mean, there's just everything in this game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah. I was just going to say, cause I dropped the link in chat and I totally forgot to bring this up. Right now, this weekend, City Skylines is 75% off. So if you don't own this game, and you want to, it's currently available for $7.50 through the Humble Bundle store, through Steam, through Paradox website. I dropped a link for it there in chat. And you can go ahead and click that if you're interested in getting it. A lot of the DLC is on sale as well. So again, if you click that link, it'll take you to the Humble Bundle store. You can take a look at the DLC. I think a lot of the DLC is like 25 to 75% off. I didn't take a close look, but yeah, I think it's worth for $7.50. I'd buy it twice. I mean,
yeah, I mean, if you've ever played Sim City and you've always wanted another city builder and you're thinking about going, oh, maybe I'll get one of the old Sim City, like try City Skylines. Like it really unlocks a whole lot of potential that you don't have in the Cities franchise.
Couldn't agree more, man. I really couldn't agree more. Jay, to answer your question earlier, I'm not building as part of this one. I'm not a competitor in this. I may be playing Skylines coming up on stream a little bit more. I really miss the game. I really do. I don't get an opportunity to play it very often. And yeah, I want to start doing some more Skylines streams. So, you know, if you like Skylines, feel free to come back for some of that. But Fear Rider, good to have you in. And Queen, welcome in. There we go. Yeah, hopefully Mira explained it pretty well to you. And no, right. Quinn, no more.
What are these guys doing now? We've got Carex is still working on his. It almost looks like a fort, you know, like one of those old, like Civil War bases. You know what I'm talking about? Like
I do, yeah, like the old, like walled British military installations from World War II. Almost like a keep or a fort.
I like how we went from Civil War to World War II, but they're the same thing.
You know, yeah, relatively.
They existed for a long time.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I was thinking World War I. No, World War II, they had some like French installations that kind of looked like this, 100%. I think.
Yeah. We're not wrong.
Probably reappropriated from Civil War, but you know. Yeah.
And then let's see. So he's still working on that. I don't know if he's dropped his zone yet at all.
KRX hasn't. He's finally getting some roads in.
Yeah, he's getting some roads in, and it looks like he's setting up whatever's going to be on that elevated platform there. Looks like Kiggy is starting to expand. He's got I think he built like a master parking lot for everyone in this like one little commercial district.
It would be interesting to me if he was able to fill that out. That would be pretty impressive. Again, you know, it may seem like a small thing to people watching, but filling out a parking lot that size would require like a significant amount of commerce in that area and a significant number of residents. So that would be very representative of a pretty impressive city build if he could actually somehow fill out that parking lot with, you know, like 600 cars. Yeah. Definitely something to think about too.
And it looks like KRX actually had a tree brush on a second ago, so he might be setting up a part for the interior of that elevated platform. Let's see, Everdream. Ooh, he's doing a little more detail work than I expected. What is that? Is that a roof or?
Oh, he's using procedural object. Oh, no, he's using docks. I think the docks mod. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Azili was the first one I saw use this. Azili busted this out. So it's basically a multi-part dock. Is he doing it over a road?
Is that a dock? That looks like a park. Does it say park? And he is doing it over a road.
That is pretty interesting. Whatever he's doing with it, it's like some sort of underground. Oh, yeah. No, I think it is the docks mod. I think it is. Huh. Or something similar, because it comes in two parts. It comes with like a wireframe and then like a blank generic topper. And I had this same weird issue where if I laid it on ground, it would be invisible like this. So maybe he's planning to use that to sort of create, yeah, what's he got under there? Just like an underground parking garage or something?
It's just a loop.
Maybe just a park?
Right now, at least.
He's building an underground park. That would be pretty impressive. He knows what sells, man.
He's doing something. He's doing something under there.
Oh, Brainless, welcome in, man. How you doing today? Yeah, so taking a look at that, I'll be really interested to see where that goes. I mean, so far, Everdream has not failed to impress throughout all these different competitions he's been a part of. Whatever he's coming up with, it's looking good. It's definitely looking good. Yet over here, it looks like he's gridding his city out a little bit more. He's
rapid expanding. What is his population? 62,000. That's pretty solid.
That is a solid population too. Yeah. At 35 minutes in, 35 minutes
Yeah,
in.
the next highest is almost 6,000 with Everdream.
Wow. That's the next highest. So 10 times the population of the next competitor.
Yeah, you've got to have the one guy going for the population.
You do.
Last time it was Taradra, and today it's we got.
Got to give him props for that, because honestly, since it is really based off the audience vote, if that's the most impressive thing to you as a viewer is getting a million population in 2 hours, then hey, you know who you're voting for. Yeah, so it's good, like I said, again, to have these varied approaches to the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool looking park, though, that So Everdream's busting out down there. Looking back over KRX and Kiggy, both of them, KRX finally getting a few more roads down, and I like this waterfront area he's got going here, too. I wonder if he's going to turn that into like a business area, perhaps like a transit center. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out it. It's kind of like he's zoning just different groupings, like residential, kind of like you said, a sector of residential, a sector of commercial. I haven't seen him zoom out, so I haven't seen the whole picture yet.
Yeah,
and I know, for example, Yet is doing just massive chunks of like metropolitan. Like it's a big mix. He's got his residential set aside, but I just haven't seen a solid zoom out of like what Kiki, or haven't caught it of what Kiki's up to.
Yeah, that's honestly true. Kiggy, I think, is the only one we haven't seen a full city shot of yet. Like, KRX is zoomed out enough to give us some kind of idea what's going on, but Kiggy, he's still keeping it pretty tight in on the camera here, and that's probably because he's doing a little bit of detailing work. Seems like every time we cut over to him, he's working on these parking lots too. So yeah, hopefully we can catch him at some part where he's off that, and we can get a clearer picture of the city.
So KRX's population is still 0. I'm starting to get nervous for him. I want him to throw down some zone. Not that that's like, a huge factor. Population isn't a huge factor. I know he could do it. I'm just like, the road work is looking great. I'm actually a little bit surprised he spent this much time doing some just terraforming and road design.
Well,
I have a feeling the second hour is just going to be, building it up population wise and putting a ton of zone work in.
Yeah, he might wait till the last moment because he is using Demand Master. So,
I see.
Yeah, he could just dump that out last 20 minutes if he needed to. I think. I don't know. I don't use Demand Master, so I don't know how fast it would work. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, if he zoned it all out, then by the time we got to evaluating a city, it'd be pretty flushed out.
Yeah, I think it can definitely help, especially if you have some ways of boosting property value in those areas. True.
Yeah. And taking a look at that too. Like KRX said earlier on a stream, that's definitely something we'd want to keep for a different sort of competition. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's a valuable factor though. Home value. Didn't want to base the entire competition off numbers and stats and stuff like that. But if you value a high value city, something to consider.
Yep. We got Kiggy's throwing in some more parking lanes.
I see no zoned handicap there.
You're letting us down, Kiggy.
Kiggy, no. Move It's a great mod. Oh yeah, Fear Rider. Move It is a fantastic mod. I use that so heavily. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I don't even bother putting my roads anywhere near where I want them, and I just drag them into place nowadays. It's just easier than trying to get it close and then dialing back on it. So yeah.
If you don't have Move It, you're definitely, and unless you chose not to use it, you're definitely missing out on some functionality that the game doesn't give you. But Q-Boy does a fantastic job keeping that.
Are you seeing Evers right now? I don't mean to interrupt you, but did you?
The birds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's actually seen from the birds.
That looks like a horror movie. I mean, it's the most beautiful scene for a horror movie I've ever seen, but
It's a lot of birds, dude.
Yeah, what is going on there?
I have no idea.
It's like a horde of grandmothers carrying breadcrumbs came. Just the pigeons are going insane. Look at that swarm. That's impressive.
Yeah. Bird population's high.
What is he using to do that?
I don't know.
I've never seen this in my life. Is that what those squares are, maybe?
I got nothing, Lemon. I got nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm at a complete loss on this one. Again, Yed seems like he's still flushing out the population. He's up to 73,000, I think. Let me zoom in here.
73.
Almost 74.
Oh,
yeah.
Kiggy, I can report that Kiggy also has handicap parking.
Excellent. Somebody shot him the message, I guess. I don't know. Laszlo said he might.
I can see Cupstack over in KRX's chat putting sweaty emotes in.
Oh, really?
40 minutes in, hurry up.
I know his viewers are going to start to get nervous here too, and I know he was getting nervous about this competition. I hope he's having a good time with it. I hope everybody's having a good time with it. Honestly, I wanted to do these to promote members of the community. So again, definitely go check out these guys' streams. Check out Slayer as well. Here, it's Slayer 3K, correct?
Slay 3K, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. And yeah, the link for the multi-Twitch is in chat. So if you're not on mobile, you can click on that and watch all 4 streams at once right there. Thank you, Mara. Yeah, Yed, I think at this point after, I'm beginning to see his strategy develop. So he was going specifically for the vote Yed approach of the city design. Mm-hmm. Everything else is just going to be filling in the gaps, it looks like. I wonder if does he do any detailing work?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I've seen a ton of his, I don't know if I've seen him do any detail oriented stuff. I know he and I also do some of the, I think we stream kind of at the same time sometimes. So it's tougher. Yeah. Yeah.
And honestly, I've only been by a stream one time. So that's not like, I don't know too closely his style.
You definitely got to get over there more. It's tough though. Like when you're trying to stream and you stream when all your buddies are doing.
Oh, for sure. And it always seems that all my friends or all the friends I make through streaming all happen to be at the same time slot as me.
Yeah.
I don't know why it works out that way. Or, I think what it is because usually, you end stream and then you go to their stream and they're live and have been. So, yeah, it just ends up where you don't really get to connect with a lot of these guys the way you'd want to.
Yeah, because it's tough because I miss a lot of cool stuff. It's funny, though, because of Atlanta traffic. Sometimes I'll just put on a stream and just listen and just say hello, put the phone down and drive, my 45-minute and just try to catch up with a few folks. But it definitely can be tough getting around, especially if you're doing a lot of stuff and everyone's streaming at the same evening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's exactly true too. If all of them are streaming at the same time too, it's like you gotta. Every viewer on Twitch knows that problem. We all have 18 streamers we would love to see every night, but
we've usually got 6 tabs open. Yeah,
exactly.
So we got KRX is still doing road layouts.
He is.
I see Kiggy's throwing down some trees. It looks like Everdream's getting into some complicated road design near the beach here. And Yed is laying out I think Yed's going for a huge population hit here.
I wonder if he'll be able to outdo Taradra.
What did he end up with? What did Taradra...
I honestly think it was like 200,000. Yeah, it wasn't... Yeah, it wasn't like way over the top like I thought it was. Because I remember making the joke about 1 million and you kind of corrected me on that. And yeah, I thought I remember it being pretty close to what you predicted. And yeah, does that sound like...
Was it 200 or was it 100? I wonder if it... No. It had to have been over 100.
Yeah, it had to have been. Yeah. I'm going to go with 200. Let's say that's the target for Yed. Yeah. If he wants to outdo... But it would be impressive to do at this point because he started much later on this with a less grid-like design than Taradra used. So
yeah. But now he's hit his stride here and he's just laying out huge, massive chunks that he can just do massive zoning, like really, really. And I think he's placing some things for land value and utilities and all that jazz, and then another chunk of zone. And I noticed the only person not using Demand Master would be Kiggy.
Oh yeah, he's not. So both Yed and KRX are using it here. So Everdream appears to be, well, obviously he's using it. I don't know that anybody's ever had max all 3 otherwise. Yeah, and get some detail work in there too. So Everdream, his patented rocks going in. Kiggy doing some detail work here. It looks like he's building out a little bit of a park area. And he just hit Worthy Village there. He's almost, 900 people? And again, if anybody wants the link to this map package, let me know in chat. I'll be able to share that with you too. I didn't make a command for it or anything like that. But I do have the link for it as well. So feel free to let me know. And Laszlo, one trick with that, if you change all the streams to like 360p, a lot of times they'll run a lot smoother. You'd love to play this map? All right, Pax, let me get you that link, man. This is the, hopefully I can grab it all. This is the entire package. So it includes the rocks, the assets, and everything that come with the map. If you don't install it with the trees and stuff, that's okay. But it is going to have large blank patches of grass as opposed to like some forest and stuff on it, just because the trees won't load. So I do recommend installing most of those. You don't need relight or anything like that, but everything that was included by the map maker is right in that package. So hit it, hit it, check it out. And again, if you want the City Skylines for 75% off right now, you can hit !CS Humble in chat, and that'll give you the link to purchase that. It's $7.50 this weekend from Humble Bundle. So check that out. Check that link out if you don't own the game or if you're looking to possibly look at some of the DLC.
I see Paxi asking me what my favorite rock is, and that's a really good question, Paxi, because long story short, I think it depends. It depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. If I'm just laying out rocks on a coastline, I use kind of the same thing Everdream's using. It's like coastal rocks, or not coastal rocks. I can't remember the name now. They're like two different kinds. One appears wet and one appears like dry, and you can layer them on top of one another. And it's really good for like kind of industrial areas. Maybe surface rocks. Yeah, and Everdream's planting them right now, but you can get a cool like difference between where the water hits and where the water doesn't hit. It makes a really cool line. And on top of that, you can throw in some shrubbery and make the rocks really look a little more lively. But coastal rocks that have more of a like a tan texture color to them are really great for stacking and creating like a elevated facade. I've done like for example, like I put a lighthouse on a hill, right? And I wanted the cliffside goes into the water, and I was able to utilize those rocks and a little bit of scaling with procedural objects to build a cool cliff feature, and then throw in a little bit of plants and stuff like that around them, and it looks really fantastic. So it sort of depends on the situation, but I would say those are up there for me, those two guys.
It blows me away. This is exactly why we brought a detailer on for this sort of stuff, because I know that you know your stuff. Now, I wouldn't know how to answer that question. So...
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great. I mean, there's several different kind of rocks and different stuff, and really, I don't know. Once you could definitely have your favorite, but you could also have ones that are great for certain situations. And then when you get to the point where it's like where you get into detailing and you want to make something realistic, like you can really, you really start to find like what works where, and you can find value in stuff maybe you didn't use before.
Well, great. Yeah, and if anybody else
talking IRL.
Oh.
Granite. I have no idea, Pax. Yeah, granite. I love some granite.
Marble. I guess that's a terrible story. I had this really weird rock I found in the river when I was a kid. It was green. I took it home, I washed it, and this thing was like a bright, polished red rock. And I've never seen a rock before or since like it. It was the weirdest little thing. It was like smooth and shaped just like a river rock, but it was like red and marble, like red, not like red tinged or like rust colored. Like it was a red rock. If you broke it in half, it's red all the way through. I don't know where it came from or what it was doing in this river, but there's some interesting rocks out there. That's my one contribution to the rock.
That is all from.
Yep, that's all I got.
That's all he's gonna bring for us tonight.
Yep.
I see. Wow, Everdream's got about the biggest parking lot maybe ever.
That's realistic, though. I mean, if you're talking a football stadium with 50,000 people, they have massive parking. Like the area of parking around it is much larger. So that attention to detail is pretty impressive to me.
I think Yed's did Yed's game crash?
It kind of looked like it there. He's restarting right now. Hopefully he's saved.
And I see KRX is into zoning now, so he must have laid out everything he wanted to do, and now he's going to start throwing in the house.
Yeah, it is starting to come together over on his end. It almost looks like is that a wing formation, like a bat? Is it like a mirrored wing?
Almost. Like I said, I've seen him do these really beautiful, like he'll have like these isolated areas, and they're usually a little bit larger, but it'll be a whole area that's like kind of got all of the same angles repeating, and it looks really, really good. And like I said, he had a desert city, and I remember going in there, I was like, dude, it looks like a plane is flying over. So he's got a knack for just being able to see roads and how things are going to, work out before ever touching, the zone button. And that also goes to how much time he's played too, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, it's God, he's got time to make a very large population city too. With Demand Master on and all that. Maybe he was feeling a little shaky about continuing to terraform, coming up on the 1 hour mark here.
Yeah. I think it's a strategy though. You do a lot of.
Oh, your mic cut out there. You still with us?
Did it? Am I good?
You're good now.
Okay. That was scary.
I looked over and you were talking. I'm like, hello?
Oh, yeah. I think he's... I forgot my train of thought. I think it's an interesting strategy, though. Maybe he goes and maybe his idea is to plant a lot of the roads and everything he wants, in the first hour. And then the second hour is just like, okay, well, now let's use up all the roads I've played.
And yeah, KRX here getting some use out of the Industries DLC too. I like that he's taking that into account. I mean, for those who don't know, the Industries DLC is a massive moneymaker. So if you're looking to play this game, you can generate, I think at one point, just to test it, I loaded up all my large warehouses with unique goods and then dumped them all at once. I made something like 1.2 million for a couple minutes. It was ridiculous the amount of money you can pump out of the Industries DLC. So it's probably my favorite. What's your favorite DLC?
That's a good question. Let me think here. Park Life is great. There is some interesting aspects to Industries. Obviously because of how I play, I don't worry so much about the, money aspect because I'm doing a lot of the detail work. But what's cool about it too is that it gives you a bunch of buildings and stuff like that you can utilize. So even if you're not using it for its necessary, specific intended purpose of like, oh, I got to build a whole Industries and let it run and like you said, generate the income. Mm-hmm. I use a lot of the assets to create the warehouse assets are really great.
Oh yeah.
So in one city, I utilized like a slaughterhouse and some ranch style materials that it came with to create like a transition from like a kind of like lower end downtown into like just farms. So there's some pieces there, but Park Life has a lot of different elements that are really great for detail work.
Now, see, I may have gotten sort of thrown off because a lot of the DLCs I got at the exact same time as the base game. So what is included in Park Life? It's got the parks, but
yeah, you've got different park elements, but each one has like its own fence.
Okay, so none of the fences are base game.
I can't remember. I think there were there some in the base game. I don't remember, but I know that there's.
That's where I'm at on it too.
Yeah, it's tough for me to recall, but like I know that there's several fences that come with there's a fence for basically each park, I think.
Oh, so Yed is back in game here, and it looks like he took a major setback on this.
Oh wow!
Taking a look,
about half his population.
Oh, he's down to 33,000. He lost over half. He was at 80,000.
Ooh.
Oh, that is rough. Yeah, definitely for something like this, have an auto save on for everything. That would be rough. And see, it's rough too because without like an official referee or tournament staff, like it's very difficult to stop the clock and stop all the players, which would have been ideal in a situation like this. But by the time I would have gotten that done, he would have been back up and running.
Yeah.
So,
and what I also noticed is he's not playing with unlimited money.
He's not.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He is.
Yes, he is. I read that wrong.
Oh, not a problem. But he does have Demand Master on, which is going to make up a lot of time for him here. Hey, JJM Jim, I'm so happy you were able to come by. Thank you again for the follow today, man. And I'm looking forward to having you on for the next one too, dude. Appreciate you stopping by. I hope your weekend's going well. Yeah, Vapa, I do feel bad for you. And welcome in, by the way, man. I haven't said hi to you today. I appreciate you being here. I really do. Yeah, Mira, with Demand Master on, he has unlimited demand, which means houses are going to build as fast as he can zone them pretty much. And that's going to allow him to really make up lost time here. But that's also true, too. I did mention, will he be able to overcome Taradra's previous record of 200,000 or so population, I didn't take into account that Tarajra did it all vanilla. So with Demand Master, Yed could still potentially break 200,000 population. And that's if the traffic will hold up here, though, because if you don't manage traffic inflow, one major thing that can happen is you can actually have citizens start dying faster than they can get into the city. So your population will stagnate just because they're struggling. Right here, you can see he's having a little bit of problems with that base roundabout. I'm not sure if he dropped that in or if that was part of the map to begin with. But he's getting it going on here, and he's getting back on his feet. So let's kick over KRX and Kiggy.
I really like KRX is setting up kind of like a whole area here for industrial, which I've seen him do before. Like it's basically an industrial park, right? Which is pretty realistic too.
With all the different zones in it?
I think so. I think he's got a couple of different elements here.
Oh.
I don't know if it's all... He's got some farming and I think some forestry, I think.
Okay. Just seeing farming here so far. It looked like it was all just one zone. You can't have two areas in one zone, though, I don't think.
You probably... Well, let's see.
Or one district.
Yeah, maybe it's all just farming. Apologies, yeah.
Either way, though, you're right. I mean, the way it's broken down here, it's pretty realistic.
He's got like I said, he's got a good knack for that. It's just like a little pocket area. He'll use that space, and keep everything really tight knit and fit whatever he can in some tight spots. I can see him trying to line up different, kind of different pieces and different sizes to fit the sort of area he's got selected here. And he's switching them all out, so there's some variety too.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Kiggy's setting up a crosswalk here. It looks like he's trying to lead off that parking lot.
Oh yeah. I think this is all tied to his big industrial park. Not industrial, commercial. Losing my mind today.
That's okay. Speaking's hard. It's hard to talk for a couple hours,
Words
man.
are hard.
Yeah, trust me. I've done a lot of casting, and people don't understand. It's hard to talk. It's hard to carry, keep it going for hours. But yeah, it's fun. Wait, I just realized Kiggy's using left-hand traffic. That would make sense given he is from the UK, but he's the one competitor here using left-hand traffic.
Interesting.
Have you ever used left-hand traffic?
I have not.
I haven't either, man. And I think it would just confuse me.
Yeah, I kind of decided some time ago that I was going to do a little bit of some European style stuff, and then I kind of didn't do that. I couldn't figure out buildings and stuff like that, how I wanted them to go together, and it was frustrating me. So I just said, I'm going to stick to the kind of American style of building for now.
So is that something that you study at all? Do you take a look at existing resorts or existing cities before you start your city design? Or
I do, or I'll have an idea. It's as simple as, hey, I want to build a resort, for example. And so I usually will take a chunk of land, I'll find a building, and then, because obviously you're limited on assets, right? You have 130,000, but only so many are going to be resort styled. So I'll take that into account, and I'll just start building around that and try to style per what the resort looks like, but also based on something like a reference images or two. I started doing custom pools. So I looked at some different designs for pools in these really fancy resorts, like we're talking about Dubai and stuff like that, where they spend, it turns out some of my resorts are for some high rollers, but
those are the best kind, honestly. Nobody wants to see us, Motel 6.
Exactly.
So,
I mean, I have done some abandoned hotels and motels too, but
have you really? I have seen. I think that's one of the more impressive builds, honestly. The people who do the rundown, I know it's going to sound crazy, but there was this one where somebody did a bombing site. And I'm like, first that throws me off and it puts a bad taste in my mouth. But I'm like, at the same time, to put up the barriers, to put up the police tape, to put up the cars, to make the damage on the road, to lay the assets out and scatter them around the street, to have the damaged building, all those things combined do really create a good scene. And again, not to go way over the top on this, but it's so cool that so much of this is available to anybody who plays this game through Steam. I mean...
I found that, I was doing a military base, for example, a Navy base, and not all of them have beautiful greenery and all that stuff. They're very much for their intended purpose, right?
Right.
So I would do little pockets where maybe you had an old building that they haven't remodeled, that didn't remodel or whatever, that finally collapsed or something like that. So I do these little pockets of just rough terrain. And then before that, though, I got into alleyways. in Alleyways is like a really, really cool thing because they're grungy typically, right?
Are alleyways like a specific asset, or are you talking about just using them in your city?
Custom building it. So
oh,
I
really?
would go in and I would set up like ploppable asphalt, and I would do mock parking lots in some areas, or I would tie it in with like functional parking spaces with like roads that ran underneath or whatever, some ploppable pieces, and build like whole in between like two urban area streets.
Okay.
So you'd have like a commercial and maybe some residential mixed use, and then in between that you'd have just like where all the workers or whoever would park, facility owners, and it's a really cool thing because you put in broken fences, you put in dumpsters and all that stuff. And whereas you're always kind of think I gotta make this look so pretty, it's really cool to do the exact opposite.
Yeah, and again, it takes just as much work, if not more, I think, to capture that alternative aspect of reality. Really. I mean, it's pretty easy to look around on the streets and see well, it's not always easy, but it's easier to look around at a city and see what a functioning city looks like. But to envision what a desecrated city would look like, or a damaged city, I mean, you really got to be creative to do that. So that's why we have you on as a judge, man, because your creativity is next level for sure.
I appreciate that.
But we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pop over and talk to the players themselves now.
Do it.
So I will be back here with you guys just a moment. Or with you just a moment, not you guys. You guys out there. Yeah. So I'm going to start off. We're going to bring Yed on first here. And we're going to kind of talk to him and see how he feels his city's going. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Hey, Yed, you here?
Hey, what's up, Lemon?
How's it going, man?
Well, my game crashed, but we're coming back. We're doing good.
I know. I saw that. I saw that it came down there. And it set you back majorly. That was like 50,000 population lost. How you feeling, man?
Good. We're good. Basically, my goal today is to maximize population, as you can probably tell.
That's what we're seeing.
So, yeah, I was getting to the point. Basically, my game hits a point where it will slow down. Obviously, that's how cities works.
True.
Around about 100 to 130,000. So once I hit that point, that's when the fun stuff's gonna happen. But basically, I wanted to see if I can maximize that. So I was gonna kill some graphic settings to see if I could get my CPU going. And yeah, apparently turning off shadows makes cities not like you. So
oh wow,
so yeah,
that's rough. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Yeah, you're bouncing back, and I mean, in terms of population, how do you feel you're performing against the other players, since that's your goal?
I mean, population-wise, I think I'm pretty good. The rest of it, maybe not, because we have vastly different playstyles. But I came here to maximize population and maximize profits, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job of both so far.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear you're hitting your goals, man. And yeah, everybody out there, make sure you go check out Yed here too. Check his stream out. Give him some support out there, okay? All right, man. I'll catch you at the end.
I appreciate you, Lemon.
So that was kind of
all right. Switching over to So Everdream here. What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Oh, we're living the dream. I not to be biased as a host, but I love your cities, dude. I just really do.
Appreciate it.
So how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel like this time around though, I'm kind of just going for it at this point. I didn't plan as much as I did last time. But I feel good about what I've got. I feel good.
Yeah, the geometric designs. I mean, I know you're probably not watching the other streamers, but how do you feel you're doing?
I don't know. I was just actually asking chat how they felt about the other cities and what they were doing. So I'm told that it's somebody said your city looks beautiful, and then somebody said it's not April 1st. What are you doing? So
good. I'm glad your chat's inspiring you with confidence.
Yes, definitely. So it's always nice to have them behind me like that. It's
Yeah, that's good. I noticed you're working entirely in one square too. Did you not bring 81 tiles?
I actually never play with 81 tiles, but
oh really?
I didn't specifically do that for this city, but I wanted to keep it smaller this time. I wanted to kind of focus more on just a smaller area, because I think last time I took up like 4 tiles or something. So
yeah, I see.
Area.
Yeah, well, honestly, dude, I think what you're doing is pretty impressive. I mean, of course, it'll be up to the audience, but right. I really like it. I was mentioning this earlier. I love the LUT you use and the color scheme too. It's very vivid. It pops for me. So
I appreciate it. You know what's funny about that is I was actually told that it was dull.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
Man, people will tell you everything in this world. Let me tell you. You just keep doing you, dude. It's looking great. For all those out there, again, go check out So Ever Dream. We got 54 minutes left on this competition at this point. So, man, good luck to you.
all right, I appreciate it.
All right. Popping over to Kiggy now.
Whoa.
Hello. Yeah, surprise. You just don't expect a wild lemon to blast into your ear hole at random times. I get it.
Yeah, not when you've got streamer mode on. You don't hear people join. Flipping heck.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's just completely abrupt. I gotcha.
Yeah.
So how you feeling, man?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Feeling good?
A little park. Mm.
Yeah, I like the rocks you got going around the edges here. So as far as your overall city design, it looks like it's a little thin right now. Are you planning, you think you got time to flush this out? 53 minutes.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's the hope.
Hopefully.
Good.
That's the point. Let's speed it up a little bit. I didn't even realize that had gone back down again, damn it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I that always catches me off guard when you level up and then forget to speed time back up.
Oh,
I get it.
Well, I'm not used to speed building, so...
That's true. Well, how you feeling? Is your confidence high? I know you don't get a chance to look at the other players, but how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. There's still obviously a lot to do. We've got public transport to go in soon. We're going to put in some sort of bus terminal, hence we put some of the bus lanes in and stuff. It's just then expanding on further, expanding on there, just seeing what we can do in the last amount of time.
I see.
We'll see how
Cool.
it goes.
Yeah, man. Well, honestly, I'm liking the design of your city so far. I like the fact that you're working off that central roundabout too. I'll tell you right now, it's not something a lot of the other players are doing. So you're doing something unique here. And yeah, looking forward to seeing the final build, dude. Again, we're gonna give a shout out to Kiggy. If you haven't checked Kiggy out, definitely go do so. Yeah, and I will talk to you in about 50 minutes, man.
All right, dude. See you then.
All right. And finally, we're going to be kicking over to KRX here. KRX,
What's up, dude?
how you doing?
Doing good, guys.
Yeah, you feeling confident?
No.
Not at all.
We are running behind schedule, to say the least. Not that there was a schedule. Not that
I-
there was a plan, but
I was watching that for the first half hour. You were doing nothing but terraforming, and I'm like, man, he's got Demand Master, so he could probably make up the time here, but it's a lot of work. But so far, I gotta say, I love what you're doing. I really do. Is everything coming together like you're thinking outside the population?
oh well. I mean, yeah, the population will come when we put the buildings down, but I don't know. I'm liking what we're doing. It's just I don't think we're gonna get done.
I
with
see.
everything, so we'll see.
That's the challenge with a speed build, definitely. Yeah, man. Well, so far I really do like what you're doing. I know you haven't gotten a chance to see the other players, but I think this is coming together nicely. I think it's pretty impressive what you've done. That terraforming was really, really next level. So everybody else out there, definitely go check out KRX, and we'll get a shout out for you here in chat. But man, I will talk to you in about 50 minutes. Good luck to you.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Lemon.
All right, we're back. Slayer.
Welcome back.
We got it. Mira, thank you so much for getting those shout outs to those guys too. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, you guys in chat, if you have any questions about this, you want to know any of the mods being used or have any questions for Slayer, definitely feel free to throw those out there. Right now we are over the halfway point of this competition, and yeah, it's coming down to the wire.
Ask me questions, chat, but don't ask complicated ones.
Right. Ask him which rocks he likes in real life.
Yeah, Paxi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, KRX did not sound too confident, man. He sounded a little shook up.
Uh-oh. I heard a little bit of it. I think he's he's laid out a lot. I want him to just start doing the zone. I'm worried. I'm gonna have to ask him afterwards if he felt like he spent too much time doing road work, and I think last time it was so much focus on terraform.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this time it was a little bit of terraforming and a little bit of road work. So I'm curious to see how far he gets. He's still got a good chunk of.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't give himself enough credit. I think he's got time to make this come together.
Oh yeah,
the way he wants to.
He knows the game, and he knows how to do it. But he's also going to know if he doesn't think he can quite get what he wants. I like what
Yeah.
Kiggy's doing though. Kiggy's actually detailing a little like lake here with a bunch of rocks and some reeds, which actually kind of looks nice.
Yeah, the fact that he took the time to put the rocks in the bottom of the pond too, I think that really brings some depth out to it. That's something I always forget to do with this too, is I just leave it like a blank grass bottom. And yeah, it doesn't look natural, and I never know why. So for those out there looking for a little detailing tip, I mean, I think this is a fantastic example right here.
Yeah, and what's a lot of times with detailing, it's just about layering. Like I think he may have had a decal or something he put down, it looked like, or maybe he's just using a little surface painter. But just doing layers, man, you get a lot out.
That's something I noticed too, especially with trees. When you're doing like forest areas or something, making sure you layer the trees. Start with like some bigger spread out spots, and then just sort of fill in layer after layer after layer till it flushes out.
You've got to look at like the ground color and stuff like that. Typically isn't just going to be grass. Like one thing in my chat has heard me complain about it is if I'm putting trees in and plants and bushes, I don't want to see grass beneath them. I want to see dirt or mulch or something like that. So I have 100%. A couple mulch assets that I use a lot.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You're right. He does have fish in this. The Midgeon, welcome to the stream, dude. Yeah. We're going to try to be opening these up maybe to a bi-weekly, so a twice a month event, so that we can get some more of you guys in here. Because I know there's a lot of streamers out there who want to get involved in this event. So if you stream, you have something interesting that you'd like to bring to City Skylines, to bring to this competition, definitely feel free to reach out to me on Discord, because we're always looking for more people to compete in these. So definitely do that. Fishy Sauce, call me Derpy. Thank you very much for the resubs, dudes. Both 8 months. What a coincidence. But thank you so much. And White with Ducks, what does the winner get? Well, the first time we had a $100 prize, and I would like to do some prize pools in the future as well. But right now, we're just kind of doing it for bragging rights within the City Skylines community. A lot of people who watch these streams too, you know of these other streamers, or you've seen them at least in the viewer list or in other people's chats. But yeah, bragging rights is what it's for right now. That's what we're doing it for.
I'd say a big thing too for all the streamers, especially a couple of them, going and just shooting them a follow and checking them out later. Like that's a huge thing for them.
For sure. Yeah. If you guys like what they do, you like their content creation, you like their personalities, definitely go check them out. We have a multi-Twitch link in chat. The mirror just dropped between those two subs. And if you click on that, you can actually go watch all 4 of them at once right there. And not me, apparently. I'm not included. That's sad. That's okay. No, I saw that in Carex's chat too. They didn't include me in the multi-Twitch link. So I was like, oh.
That may have been my fault. I'll take some blame for that.
Oh, it's all good, man. Nobody needs to watch me anyway. This is for YouTube. So
I think I set it up so I could watch the 4 and I have you on a separate tab.
That makes sense. I guess if anybody's in here to hear me say this, then they're already in here, so we're good anyway.
True.
It works. Working every single day. Hey, Derpy, thank you so much for coming by, man. Fishy, both of you come in here, drop your 8-month subs, and then dip. It's Baron.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, we do have, not to self-promote on my own channel or anything, but we do have a Patreon out there where I include some behind-the-scenes video footage of some of the YouTube videos that I'm doing for City Skylines, some private screenshots that I haven't released, some other content. So, if you were considering subbing and you like City Skylines, subbing through Patreon is probably the best way to do it. Get you the most out of your... Yeah, we probably need a command for it. I don't advertise my Patreon ever, but I should. Either way, taking a look back at the cities, Yet is recovering nicely. It looks like he's already back up to, what is that, 78,000?
70. He's got 70 right now. I think he was a little bit bummed, but I do think one of his goals is over 100K. And he was well on his way. I would have expected him to probably do like 150 before his crash. So now maybe he'll do like 120, maybe.
Oh, 50,000 in 45 minutes with Demand Master, you think?
Yeah, that may be a little stretch. Maybe I think he can get 100K, but
true. I don't know. That's a lot. That much high density residential, if it flushes out, is got to be like 80,000.
Yeah.
So if it's able to flush out in 44 minutes, might end up with a pretty high.
What's your prediction? I'll say,
all right, yeah, good way.
Maybe 120.
I'm going to go with 170.
Oh, you think 170?
I think 170. I think 44 minutes is a lot of time for that to flush out. Chat, what do you guys think? How high of a population do you think that Yet is going to get to? Since he did say that that was his overall goal for this, he took the hit. He went back to 32,000. I mean, he's gotten 2,000 just as we've been talking here. So I got hopes for 170. 100K from Mira, 120, White with Ducks. You're going with the Slayer's prediction, huh? 200K coming out from Mystic.
Coming out with 200K. Ooh,
that's impressive. All right.
That's a lot. He's setting up right now. I think he's setting up highways just to get to the new area he's zoned in.
Yeah, this is the most intricate highway system. This looks like San Francisco right here. This is a nightmare. Look at that. Highways into highways, off of highways, above highways. It's beautiful. I don't know, Midgen. I don't know, but Yed has a plan. His plan is to get the highest population. And he's doing what he's got to do. I mean, he didn't come in here to make a pretty city. Go ahead.
What's up? I flipped over to here to look at what Kiggy's doing, and it looks like I'm starting to get a feel for what he's maybe putting down here, and it looks like a little like European town. He's very focused on this lake still. He's got some trees being planted around the lake and all that jazz. A lot of detail work going into this one spot. So I'm wondering if it's just some little European spot. Because the buildings appear to be European styled. The roads, obviously, are set up for that. So
yeah, during our mid-game interview there, he did say that he was trying to turn that into a little park area. But it'll be interesting to see what he flushes it out with as far as park assets go. You know, I'm pretty sure he has park life and all that. So maybe just might become a little lake in the middle of a neighborhood. Either way, I'd love to have that in my backyard, wouldn't you?
I would say, if I could say anything, I'd like to see a little bit more of the space filled in around, like in between some of the roads, because there's just some spots that are kind of empty. I mean, I could imagine though that like maybe if you had more time, some of those would be like bigger lots where you could fence in and stuff like that. I'm curious to see how he's gonna build around that lake area and see what he does.
Yeah, I know if it was me personally and I came down to the wire with this much space, I would just hit it with a tree brush, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just to flush it out. And maybe that's his plan too. But he sounded a little shaky on where he was as far as completion. I don't know that he has the timing down for his city design, but he's definitely having a good time over there. I know that much.
That's good. And then I see KRX is back to some road work here. I know he's zoned, and now it looks like he's perfecting a few little intersections. He's got a roundabout going in, doing some tweaking. Yeah.
So the tip of his city, I can't really see with it without it zoomed out here, just coming in on it real quick. But the national road coming in there, that's going to provide plenty of traffic flow to get the population into this area. And it does look like he is making this the primary feature for his design. I mean, he spent almost an hour on just this section alone. So I'm not sure exactly what he's planning on doing with the other part of the city. Maybe he's just abandoning it at this point.
Yeah, it's I don't know if he's maybe getting ready. I could see how what he's doing is prepping a really nice roundabout just to, put some zones in and let traffic just flow. Maybe he's perfecting that aspect of it to make sure it's as efficient as possible. And it also looks like Everdream's finally kind of like relaxing into what he's got going. It looks like he's going to do a little bit more expansion work, but I don't see him doing a ton of building anymore. It looks a little bit more focused on just kind of like adding to what he's already done.
I believe that. Yeah. When I spoke to him a minute ago, it sounded like, because he did say he intentionally left it boxed in on just that one square, just to sort of help keep him contained because he wasn't coming into this with a plan. So he said his problem in the previous competition was that he ended up expanding out to like 4 squares. And it just ended up too messy. He wasn't really able to keep things focused. So by doing this, I mean, watching that traffic from above, that looks very clean. Well, then he deletes it. But yeah, it was looking like a pretty smooth flow.
He just took all the traffic out.
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow. I that's my personal kink, I guess, when it comes to Skylines is the traffic. A well-tuned traffic system. Like when you can look at it above, it just looks like ants just in trains. If it's running smooth though, it's beautiful to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's finally going to be expanding out to another square. It looks like he is going to take it out just a little bit more. So very interesting there coming out from him. Going back over to Yed. Yeah, Goldberg throwing it up for his boy Ever.
I just saw Yed do another save. I'm gonna have to talk to this guy about doing a little autosave work.
Right? How often? What is your timer for autosave?
Oh, for me, it's like every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes I think about slowing it down, but then I know sort of the what could happen.
Right. Yeah.
You
You think about what you'd lose.
Right. Not much changes in 15 minutes for me, but still, like, just having that, because sometimes I'll get on a roll, with doing something, and you don't want to lose that little bit of progress because that sets up so much, and redoing it can be quite frustrating. Again, it goes into patience, right?
Yeah, and especially if it was like a particularly tedious section of the city or something like that,
Very much, yeah.
I don't know how many times I've lost edge work that I've done where I've like gone along a whole river, put in quake or keys along the whole thing, and then lost it. It's like, man. Musty, this is the third competition for the Cities and Skylines. Or Cities Skylines. Cities in a Snap. City Skylines competition here. So yeah.
And yeah, I still see Yed doing the same tactic where he's planting. I guess he's got some anarchy on, and he's placing buildings on top of the same lot to save space. That way, he can just keep throwing in massive chunks of residential, commercial, and all that jazz. And he's actually messing with his budget and stuff to make sure, like, I guess he doesn't have a fire and boost services, so that I would assume property value can increase, and he can keep bringing people in at a steady speed.
Man, I know that I'm kind of the one that came up with this, but just watching it, like all the ideas that come to mind with the possibilities for this is just, it's endless, and I love it. I was just thinking, like, it'd be really cool because I haven't seen anybody use Rico yet, ploppable Rico, to specifically adjust buildings.
I don't know if it looks like, let me see, what is. It looks like Everdream is he's using Find It instead of Ploppable Rico, I guess, because those sort of overlap, I think.
Do they? I've never mastered Ploppable Rico. All I know is that you can like set the building residence size to 5 million if you want to. I don't know how well it works, but yeah.
I got you. I haven't messed with that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying is like, it would be interesting to see somebody take a hotel or something and turn it into like a 1 million population hotel, turn Demand Master on, and then just detail that resort like crazy. That would be an interesting approach to this too.
Yeah. So the Ploppable Rico stuff I've used is kind of like just placing buildings. I don't know what the setting is to be able to change that, but that would be kind of interesting to see if you could do some really high density stuff. Because I use realistic population a lot, which definitely alters how the game operates.
Now, how does realistic population work?
It's going to set, like a house is going to be like one family, right? So it's going to have a certain amount of people in it, and buildings are going to have like a little bit different density in terms of how many folks are in there. I think it's supposed to mimic, like realism as much as it can. But yeah, it's been something I've played with a little bit because it I think can tend to lower population, but I think it depends on the circumstances, like and how you play the game.
I see. Yeah, and I think I played with it just a little bit too, and that I didn't really notice any difference other than I was having a harder time getting population, so I ended up disabling that. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that would affect.
Yeah, definitely.
Deeply.
I think you can make it tougher to get those massive populations set because I think it wants you to really work for that number.
Well, that's.
I think you also have like real-time mod, which will mimic some traffic flows per day and stuff like that.
Now, wasn't After Dark supposed to include that?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
One of the DLC specifically mentioned that they addressed that was like traffic increases during rush hour and in the morning and at night or like evening, then dies off at night. I think it was After Dark that does that, but I don't have After Dark, oddly enough. It's the only DLC I don't have.
I think I have everything.
Do you?
You can catch them on sale, yeah. I can't remember what all After Dark. Didn't After Dark introduce like some nighttime stuff and some lighting or something like that?
Yeah, somebody mentioned that it changed the sun color or something like that.
Okay.
That's all I know. I know it includes taxis.
Oh yeah.
But I I don't have that, so I don't know. Like he just mentioned too, like Slay? Should I just call you Slay now?
No, you can just call me Slayer. It's just
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure we're going with the right name
you're good.
at this point. Like Slayer just mentioned, you can catch them on sale, and guess what? They're on sale right now. So if you click that link I just dropped in chat, City Skylines base game is 75% off. And if you go to the Humble Bundle store through that link, or on your own, or to the Steam store, or to the Paradox store, if you feel like denying me credit, you can purchase the DLC through those as well, and it will also be on sale. I think it's 25 to 75% off on those DLCs right now. So
wow, that's great.
Yeah, if you don't have them, I would definitely go check them out. So there we go. Yeah, these cities are coming along. Kiggy now working on public transit, it looks like. Is that a bus line? That's a bus line for sure.
Yes.
Can't imagine what else it would be. Still no cable cars.
I mean, I guess we're never going to get cable cars.
Someday I want to see a cable car in one of these. All y'all listening out there, I know there's some streamers out there who want to get in on this next one, and they're like, I want to see some cable cars, man. Nobody seems to take advantage of trolleys, cable cars, ferries very often. I guess ferries aren't as impressive as like cable cars. Monorails, I've seen Kiggy or KRX use monorails. Have you seen anybody else here use monorails?
Monorails, I'm not sure. I've seen some trams and stuff like that. I've seen KRX do some ferry work, like to different islands and stuff. Trying to think, have I seen? I don't know if I've seen any monorails. Don't get the love.
They don't. Yeah, KRX definitely I've seen use monorails, but nobody else, or maybe ever. I don't know. I don't catch their streams enough, I guess. That might be part of the problem. Maybe they use them all the time. Chat, you can tell us, though. You watch their streams. You know. Set us straight here. That's what you're here for.
I do know the last time I tried to use a monorail one time, and it was like a cool concept, but I couldn't get it to work right, and then I ended up moving on. And
what was the problem with it?
I had a little bit of issue with some connections to the different stops. But it could have been user error, honestly.
I gotcha. My biggest problem with them was the noise. They generate a ton of noise. So using them anywhere in a major population, I learned the hard way. You don't put them downtown in the middle of a residential area. So yeah, I've definitely seen KRX make some good use of monorails in a very realistic way. And yeah, they're definitely more of a cross-city transit option. They're not really for local travel. Cable cars are great on mountainous cities. Maybe that's the problem too. Maybe not enough people build mountainous cities. I don't know. I think cable cars are great for just like cross-town travel. I've been to a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but I've been to like a few fairs, things like that, where they have like cable cars running across the fair, and it's like really cool to look down on a city.
Yeah, even like some zoos and stuff like that will take advantage of a little cable car, so you could go over the zoo to the other end and kind of like isolated in one park or something.
Yeah. Usually isolated in one place, but I don't know, man. I think they're a great way to get around.
Definitely.
I would love to see them. I wonder what the drawbacks are. I'm just thinking for like real life now. So I'm getting sidetracked.
Really? What are the drawbacks?
Yeah. What are the drawbacks to cable car? Yeah, people jumping out drunk or something like that. Who knows? There's a cable car across the River Thames. Really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. We need to travel more. Got to go outside.
Yeah, I know. I never get out of my room. This is my life right here.
So I see KRX is starting to do some tree brush work, filling in some space. It's still, even though I'm sure he's going to be mad at himself for not getting as much in. It's still very pretty. The layout's nice. He's got some parking lot roads. It looks like kind of to make like a bigger avenue area or something like that in between some of the buildings. Kiggy's out here expanding, doing some more zone work. I think trying to get his population boosted a little bit. He's just passing 6,000, but he's not using Demand Master either.
That's true.
I think Everdream's just I saw him do like one little pocket area with it looked like maybe a casino and a hotel, and then every time I look over, it just looks like he's kind of like, all right, we'll just let this run now.
Yeah, he might be like nearing the end of what he wants to do. Just calling this good. And that's possible. I mean, there's nothing that says they have to build for the full 2 hours. Of course, it may set him back in the long run. But yeah, it looks like he's more focused on doing some detail work here, focusing on that inner city, sort of fleshing it out a little more exactly. And, it kind of does look like a microchip to me. His city from the top down.
Oh, yeah.
Like a CPU core or something like that. So I think it was White with Ducks here said it looks like a SimCity 2000 city. SimCity 2000.
Oh, yeah. Very kind of grid with, very close-knit everything.
Did you play a lot of SimCity 2000?
I don't know if I played 2000 as much as I played 3000.
Oh, okay. When did 3000 come out?
God, that's a good question.
When did you play it? Let's put it that way.
Oh gosh, dude. Hold on.
Too many hard questions.
Let me look it up. Yeah, come on, Lemon.
What is the best way to fix our current trade deficit with China? Just real quick.
Oh, not even gonna touch.
Fair enough. Yeah,
SimCity
2000.
2000 was 1993.
Wait. Okay. January 31st, 1999 for 3000. So wait a minute. Yeah. City. Say that again. 1993?
Yeah.
I swear in 1993 I was playing like text-based games still. Like or Ski Free or Solitaire.
Initial release date 1993.
That blows me away.
Yeah, and so I think I'm trying to recall, but I think I may have played a little bit of 2000, but I know I spent a good chunk of. I'm gonna go ahead and say I probably played 2000 more than I remember, but okay. I know that 3000 I really dove in.
Yeah, back then, I mean, 1993. That blows me away. I'm sorry, I'm just in shock that in 1993 a game of that caliber was out because I really don't remember games that good being out from that time. I mean, I really remember it being like just out of the Atari age, Yeah.
It was definitely ahead. And then, SimCity 4 came out, which was another one that I dove into that was a lot of fun back in, when was that? 2003.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a little bit of SimCity. I do remember I was really into one of them. That's all I know. I don't know which one, but I was really into one of the SimCities for a while. And then like nothing came out, it felt like, for 15 years. It was just, there was like nothing available to really outshine or that really brought a new spin to it until this game. Yeah, this game with its modding community and the just beautiful graphics comparatively to the other ones. Oh God. Yeah, it is blowing things up. I just saw, I think that was a meteor that just went off in Yed City, which is now getting filled with water around a destroyed road. Hey, vote Yed. It's on fire.
I don't know if anybody's interested, but what's interesting about City Skylines, it was not meant to be City Skylines. It was actually going to be, I think, a sequel to another game that I think may have still come out. But
really,
when SimCity released, the most recent SimCity, which was like 2014 or something like that, didn't do so hot because of its network connectivity and some of the weird decisions they made. And they had actually, when they knew that was coming out, the studio, I guess Paradox or Colossal or whoever, actually decided not to release the sequel that they're going to release because it, SimCity already obviously had a large share of the market, or was going to, and then it came out and it SimCity arguably did not do well at all, given some of the choices, and then they greenlit City Skylines.
That's interesting. I didn't actually know that. Fun facts, for sure. Ank, welcome in, dude. Yeah, I actually streamed today. Still a little stuffy, but I can speak today, unlike Thursday. So we're streaming. We're here. And yeah, we got the Cities in the Snap competition going again today. This is going to be monthly. The next one, I believe we're going to be running on November 12th. That's the second Saturday of November. So for you folks out there who want to catch this, who enjoy this, definitely hit the follow button and make sure you tune in for the next one. -10. Oh my God, Mystic. all you young people, I couldn't imagine being born this millennium. I really couldn't. I can't imagine it. I don't know where to even begin if my life started this millennium, like not having been through the Y2K fiasco or 9/11 or the Gulf War. I mean, I was really young with the Gulf War, but like some of those things that impacted my life are just complete history to other people. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Like I remember this one person, she was 18. She asked me, she was like, what was 9/11 about again? And I'm like,
geez.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like this is taught sort of historically to younger people. Like it's not part of their life in the same way that it was such a major impact. And that's interesting to me. It's interesting to me that people just have a complete different influence in their world. Right now we're seeing 4 of those people too. KRX, Yed, So Ever Dream, and Kiggy coming down to the final minutes here. 23 minutes remaining, and each of them bringing their own take to their city design here. Yed's is on fire. KRX's, he's flushing out his industrial section here, which is coming together pretty nicely. He did a ton of terraforming early on in the game, which ate up the first half hour, 40 minutes of his build. Kiggy, of course, finally getting to flush out those final sections of a city, but with 23 minutes left, he is definitely in for some hurt here. Not having Demand Master is going to really cause him some problems with getting this city flushed out. So hopefully he's got a plan for dealing with that. And then again, So Ever Dream right there with his standard. You know, I feel like he's approached, and you've been here with me before on these, Slayer. I feel like he's approached these with very similar design choices.
Yeah, again, I like the idea of the blocking it out to one square and just trying to fill that square. I think that's a smart move to limit yourself, because I would definitely have that issue. It's like, how far do I go? But one thing I've noticed, and this is not just pertaining to like when he plays this, is I've seen a couple of his builds, and he has sort of a very tight build style at times where he builds things in very compact sections, and I think that plays to his benefit and something like this.
I think it does. And, you know, he has definitely made good use of the space too.
Yeah. And I will throw in here too that we were talking about how many people Kiggy could get in, and he's currently just passing 114,000. So he's outpacing sort of where.
Yeti.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I call him Yeti.
I thought you said Kiggy, and I was like, Kiggy's it? I about threw my phone out the window because I was like, he was at 6,000 a second ago.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of that parking lot right now.
Right. But he is definitely going to blow past 120. He might blow past 170. I mean, with Demand Master, like I said, high density residential, even the zoning he's got down. So like if he stopped building right now and just let this flush out, it would probably easily break 200,000. I don't think he's got to do any more building, but he does continue to build. We're seeing it go. And that was his goal for this, was to really try to impress you guys out there in the audience with his overwhelming, gigantic, oversized population. So if that's what you guys are into, you know exactly where your loyalties are going to lie on this one.
I do kind of like what KRX is doing. I think he knows he's not going to be able to put in maybe as much as he wants to, but what he has done is very nice. It's very clean and organized, kind of what I would expect from him. Like I look at, Everdream's got a very compact style, and you've got KRX with a little bit more spread out, but still very, very, like I said, clean and functional.
That's very true. And you can see he is sort of filling in with forestry at this point, because, I'm willing to bet he was a little concerned about the time remaining. And he was a little bit concerned about not being able to get it done. I can see he's just preparing ahead of time right now, by flushing it out with forest. He doesn't want to come down to the end and not have time left to make the city look good. So,
and that's something we talked about too. Is sometimes just filling in with some trees and just making it look like you at least thought about those areas is helpful, because it's going to make it look finished. Like you don't see. I don't know how often you drive around and you look around. There's not many areas where you just see grass. Grass. Like there's always something there just about.
It's true. Whether it's a farm field or an industrial lot or just a patch of forest, like there's always something everywhere you look in civilized society. And I know with Europeans especially, that's probably a lot more major thing, because I know they've had 2,000 years to flush out their country. So somebody's mentioned that to me before. It's like there's no wild animals, there's no forests left in the UK that aren't like man created or man maintained, as like a national park or reserved or something like that. It's all been manipulated throughout history.
Yep.
So yeah, that you don't really get that same natural look, but you have to create it. And KRX here is doing a great job of doing that.
Yeah, I think
that's true, Mira. Desert.
Another map. Oh yeah. That's different though.
Yeah, very true. I almost gave them a desert map for this too.
You know what? Yeah, I think that's actually going to be one of my next builds. Is going to be a desert situation. That's one thing I haven't touched.
It's so far outside the normal realm of building that I didn't want to throw that big of a curveball at people in a competition like this. But yeah, it was a consideration when I was going through maps. And also for the next one, just as a plug for the next one as well, we're going to be doing or trying to do a user submitted map for the next one.
Ooh.
We did that last time. The problem this time is we just simply didn't have enough participants submitting maps. We didn't have anybody, and that's partly my fault. I don't do a great job of promoting. I'm not a great marketer, but yeah, so you hear it now while we're live. If you're listening, we are going to be taking map submissions for the next one. So if you want to design the map that these guys end up building on, you can do that. You can actually do that. You can come up with some crazy map design that really forces these guys or girls, whoever competes in the next one, to test out their creativity. And that's totally an option for you. So keep that in mind and make sure to join the Discord so that you can get in touch with me if you want to submit one of those. Ank, I don't have a poll for that because of what I just said. Yeah, we're gonna have viewers create it. So there we go. Slayer, thoughts on this, man? How do you feel? I mean, Yed has a massive city built there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he just zoomed out. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's much bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah, he's crossed 124K.
Wow.
That's impressive.
I'm like trying to track how much it's going up per minute over there because I'm curious. We're coming down to the wire, and I think that was 5 minutes for it to go up 10K.
Yeah, I mean, it's moving quickly. I mean, the meter on there says plus 3,000 something. So that's really impressive, honestly.
You know, something I didn't take into consideration, though, he said that his game slows down massively after about 120,000 population. So he may, I mean, you see how fast traffic's moving for him at 3 times speed? Yeah, it might just peter out simply because of his limited resources on his computer.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, you may end up being the closer vote at the end of this, at least in terms of his population.
I don't know. He's crossing 127,000. So in the brief, minute or so that we've talked about it, he's added like 3,000.
That's true. Maybe most of his population is going to live in cars on the highway.
Yeah. If they're in the city district, they're
technically citizens. For sure. Well, let's kick over. Let's see. KRX and Kiggy now. Oh, Kiggy's finally getting some of this area flushed out. I like that.
Yeah, he's filling in. It's starting to look like a little bit more complete, I would say.
It is. Yeah. Hopefully they're able to move in. He doesn't have Demand Master, so it might be a bit of a problem for him getting this area flushed out. But of course, there will be a minute or two while we're talking to the players that this is still going to be flushing out after they're done building. Maybe that'll buy him the little bit of time he needs. Maybe not. In the end, you got to take a look at the city as a whole and imagine what the blank spaces are going to look like. And maybe use a bit of your imagination on this for determining if you think Kiggy has the best city. KRX, of course, his is looking very beautiful now. It's that little university. Is that a liberal arts school he's got out there?
I think so. It's been a minute since I've looked at it, but I like the spread out nature of it, but it still looks like a campus. It still looks it doesn't look too disjointed, and he's going to fill in some of the blank spaces, and it'll look really nice. I know he spent a lot of time doing some campus work and streams and stuff.
I gotcha.
I think Everdream just put in an airport.
Oh, let's take a look. Yeah, is he building an airport? Is that one of the modular airports?
No, I think that's like that's the international, right?
Is that built into the game? That can't be built in the game. I don't think. Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I need to find this then. I don't think I've ever seen an. Oh. It's two airports on top of each other. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm like, there's no rounded airports in this game that, to my knowledge. Yeah.
I know I've planted that. I thought it was a part. I thought it was like a.
I think he's literally just got two like intersecting over the top of each other. I never thought about doing that.
Yeah, I think that's just one international airport.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done an airport.
Everybody's calling me wrong. Okay, well, hey, you guys are the experts. Apparently it's been a while. Wow, yeah. Or no, you know what it probably is? I've never gotten like a 70,000 population or whatever it takes to get an airport. So that's probably the problem. I always end up stopping before then. Wow. Now it makes me want to get up there. Because
Kiki has crossed 133,000 people. Wow.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed that, or not Kiggy. Yed.
Gosh, I'm sorry. Yes, Yed.
No, that's okay. I switched over to Kiggy and I saw 6,000 and yeah. Yed, getting up there.
On my screen, they're like right next to each other, so I just keep getting the names mixed up.
I got you. Yeah. Yed's population's definitely blown up, and with 13 minutes remaining, it's coming down to the final moments for these guys. Probably about time for them to be putting the final touches on this. Is that gravel or asphalt that Everdream?
It looks like I think it's gravel.
Okay.
It's one of the surface painter textures for sure.
Okay. Yeah, Everdream flushing out his little airport park. I'm not seeing any parking area over there, and typically around an airport you'd have like a parking garage plus like long-term parking. Yeah. Maybe he'll get an opportunity to flush some of that out, make it a little more realistic. But again, that's really up to you guys out there to decide which one you like best, whether you value that or not. So totally up to the audience in this case. And then taking a look back, KRX and Kiggy, the actual Kiggy over here. Yeah. His city's coming along. He's getting some roads lining out there, coming down to the final touches on his city. KRX. Oh, it's got, what is that? The Hanging Gardens? Is that what that one is?
Oh gosh, yeah. Is it the Hanging Gardens? Is that what it's called?
I don't think that's what it's called. That's like a world monument.
I know it's one of the unique buildings. You know what I found interesting is KRX is playing at the first speed tier. Like he hasn't tried to speed it up.
I've noticed he does that a lot.
I wonder why. I mean, just given that it's a build competition, I wonder if there's a reason.
Honestly, my guess would be at this point in the competition, he's probably got the population centers already flushed out, so he doesn't see the need to really speed it up past this point.
Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, if all he's adding at this point is just some ancillary buildings or decorative buildings, you don't really need any more industrial builds or commercial or residential. So, yeah, maybe he's taking that into consideration. He's a very methodical individual. I mean,
they have 11 minutes, right?
Yeah, 11 minutes remaining right now. So mods, again, we are going to have you guys reach out, the mods from the stream DC, anybody else who's helping out with these streamers. You guys are going to be the ones to go over there and shout for them to stop. So, and if necessary, Mira or Quan or Kulu, whoever's here, hopefully you can help us out with that. Yeah, Shibi, welcome in. How you doing today? It's good to see you. You got it, DC. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate your help today. Oh, you're a god. All right. Yeah, awesome, man. I really do appreciate that. God mod, good God mod. Yeah, I figured as much, DC. I know you were like the godfather. When I first came to the City Skylines community, I was like, this guy is the godfather of the City Skylines. He's the hidden mastermind behind everything. Yeah.
Shadow's a big supporter of several streamers. It's very much appreciated.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about him. So definitely a cool guy. He is the god mod. Yeah, Miss Compound Killer and DC, both mods in 3 out of 4 of them. So Ever is having a lot of traffic. Just a lot of traffic. It's got to be the compact build.
Could be. I think that's a fair assessment. Plus, he's got it. He's got things in sections where, all those industrials in one area. So you got a lot of traffic heading to there and then back out through commercial and office space.
That's very true. And again, we're getting down to the wire here. So I'm beginning to talk a little bit more about judging criteria for you guys out there watching. But creativity, city design, all those things are things you can take into account when looking at these builds, and really decide what is more important to you. What do you like best? What do you value most in a city? Is it proper traffic flow? Is it city size? Is it city design? Is it detail work? All these guys are demonstrating some aspect of that in varying degrees. So, take some careful consideration on all these. And we're going to have voting open up here in about 9 minutes once these guys are done. Hey, Masik, welcome in. Watching the stream, want to walk outside. I am an outside lemon right now. Hello, world. Hello. This is the closest to the outdoors I've been in years. Take me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not always the funniest guy. It's a hit and miss thing with me. Okay, it's a shotgun approach to jokes. That's how I handle it. You just throw everything out there and you see what sticks. Grand strategy. So Slayer, what are you thinking, man? Who are you feeling right now? Not to give it away. I don't want you to vote quite yet, but any particular assets or aspects of any city that really pop out to you right now?
I feel like I would say this. I'm really impressed with the fact that Yed didn't get too discouraged and he still was able to build some crazy stuff. I mean, that is a massive city, 145,000 people, and we've still got 7 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. I think Kiggy's got an interesting style. Like, he does some detailing work, but he also does some layouts. The only thing I think I would have seen from Kiggy is like a little bit more of like filling in some of the space between some of the roads, but still, it's kind of got its own little flavor. I really love some of the detail work he did, especially like the pond in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That's really nice. It's just, again, everyone plays their own style, and I see right now he's starting to fill in those spaces that we were talking about with trees, which I think is awesome because that'll help make it look more complete. I think Everdream once again has a really solid plan. I think he comes in. He may say he doesn't have a plan, but I think he's got a plan.
He always looks like he has a plan. He says he doesn't, but this doesn't pop up out of nowhere.
He's got that tight knit, downtown area, some overlapping roads. It's just it's clean in his own way, right? Like it's got its own kind of look and feel, and that's always appreciated. He sticks to his style. But I like it. I like how compact it is, and I think the idea of going with a small area, I think that's a solid point, and not spreading yourself out too much. With CareX, I mean, can't say enough about just the lines and the way he draws out roads. He's got it's very clean. It's very polished. I would have loved to see him build a little bit more and take maybe a little less time from some of the terraforming, or just if he had more time, see where he was going with it, because I'm sure he would come back and say, oh no, I wanted to do X, Y, or Z on the hill. That would be my biggest question, is what else would you add to the hill? But still, some of the areas away from the hill though are really, really just beautiful layout. So that's kind of like, I guess, my quick overview of all four.
All right. Well, you heard it from him, folks. Slayer describing the breakdown right now of what you're seeing from these players. And again, man, I want to say thank you for coming on for this a second time. I really do appreciate it.
Me.
Of course. Yeah. And if you guys haven't, I know he hasn't gotten many shout outs here, but definitely go check out Slay 3K out there on Twitch.
You got it.
I finally got it. It took me an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, but we finally got your name right.
That's my fault. It just happened recently.
I didn't know, man. When did you change your name?
Right after TwitchCon, I've been wanting to do something a little shorter. Drop the 8s. That's
a good idea.
When I started. So we're doing a rebrand. It's going to take a little time, but we're in the middle of it.
Changing my name to Lemon Pops was the best decision I ever made for my stream.
What was your name beforehand? I don't even know.
It was Caconius. and I'm gonna put it in my chat here. It was spelled like this, and I realized like a year into streaming, I would come into people's chats and they'd be like, "Hey, yeah," and I'm like, nobody can say my name at all, and I'm like, you know what? To be fair, I don't know how to say it because, again, like KRX was talking about a little earlier today on his stream. A lot of these names, a lot of the usernames, the older usernames we have weren't designed to be spoken. You know, like I came up with Coconius in like 1997 or 96 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, nobody said their online internet handle out loud back then. So yeah, it was never a problem until I started streaming. But yeah, Coconius was just
That's a tough one, man.
It was. And nowadays, you know, everybody's like, lemon pops. Wow. And I'm like, I've never made a better choice in my life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it just sort of had to happen. So it's a process, right? Whenever you do something like that, but glad to be here and thank you for having me again.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. And yeah, your commentary has definitely been on point here today. A high quality guest judge, you know, like, I was talking to some people about earlier, it might be good to have you and that city planner come back on because that would be a really interesting dynamic. Hearing your,
let's do it.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Your combined commentary might be perfect for something like this.
Yeah, I'd love to bounce off kind of what we do in the game versus real life.
Yeah, that would be a great conversation to have. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. Yet here, my lord, that is a massive city.
That is huge. You know he's proud right now. He's doing the cinematic view. He is proud.
Right. He is. I think he's using cinematic camera too. So he's setting this up.
Wow.
That
is huge.
It is. It is. And I think he's just calling it good at this point because he knows like he's just not going to get more people in. Like that's all that's going to happen is just people are pouring in. That's his thing.
He's dancing.
I know. Look at that downtown area.
That is huge.
Right? And I think he's still got traffic backed up like completely off the map. It's people just dying. It is just massive rectangles. That's true too, White with Ducks. So I mean, depending on what you value for this game, that may not be the most impressive thing to you. I know some people are just like, wow, you know, that's it's impressive to do, and especially to do in 2 hours, for sure. So that's Yed's build. Transitioning over to So Everdream here. He's not really making more changes at this point. He knows the clock's ticking down. He knows it's pretty much time's up at this point. Just putting some final little details in there. He's got that overpass he created to help sort of ease the industrial traffic flow. Doing some lane management there as well. But overall, the design of the city seems to be pretty solid and pretty complete for him. And of course, Slayer, you want to talk about KRX and Kiggy one more time here?
Yeah, I think again, I think Kiggy's doing some good stuff. I think he's trying to finish out some of those open areas and give it some textures and stuff like that. I'd love to know if something to ask him would be to just know if he was going for a little bit more of a European style with this, because just some of the spacing and stuff, that's kind of the vibe I get, but I don't know if that's entirely accurate. And then, for KRX, again, I think he's trying to fill in some last minute spots and get whatever he can done. He's moving quick right now. I see that camera whipping around. So I think they're both just trying to fill in some dead space. But, again, I think everyone's stuck to their style. And I know some folks don't like the, massive builds, but it's still really impressive to see what people can do in 2 hours.
It truly is.
I think Musty, I'm checking over some of your VODs. What's your asset count on average for cities? Right now, loading screen mod puts me over 6,000 assets.
6,000 assets.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fun to see though, Musty. I may be on some cities in the next week or so. So you can get a chance maybe if you want to come check out and see what we have, because it's been a few weeks. It's been a few weeks since I've been on there. How's my rig? Slowly dying. Yeah.
Yeah, the red lights in the background are actually the heat coming off his computer right now.
That's the heat. No,
that's not LEDs.
It was cities that made me first realize maybe I need to eventually switch to two PC setup.
I could do it, but I mean, with the focus on GTA 5 and all that lately, it may not be the biggest issue for you. But either way, 6,000 assets is crazy. And here we are with the final 5 seconds ticking down. 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and stop those players, DC. KRX doing his final touches there. All of them lined up, and I think at least 2 of them are ready there. So Everdream coming to a halt. Yed making sure he saves this time. We'd hate to like come in and have it crash or something like that. Kiggy stopping and KRX. So Slayer, I'm going to go ahead and pop over in the call with these guys, and we're going to go over
Do it.
one last conversation on this. So I'll be back here in just a moment. Yeah, and basically we're going to go through and we're going to talk to the players each individually right now. We're going to talk about what their high points are, what their design ideas were stylistically for these cities, and give you guys a little bit more information to vote on. But right now, if you guys would like to, the vote link is in chat. And DC, if you want to make sure that they post that in the other channels as well, I'd greatly appreciate that, man. We can go ahead and start getting those votes in. So let's go ahead. We're going to start off with KRX. KRX, I'm going to come in hot on you here, man.
What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Good.
Good. So I love this city design. Why don't you go ahead and walk us through this?
I don't know. We just have sort of like 3 different areas, I guess. This is not how I wanted it to look. Not nearly organic enough looking, just a big dump of buildings, but this was supposed to be like a big sort of volcano, like military research center or compound, or James Bond villain lair or something like that. So we ended up kind of putting in a bunch of of the sort of high-tech unique buildings and stuff like that. We got the launch center in the middle, just some big, I don't know, just sort of kind of almost futuristic. That's basically, so we added that mountain there. I wanted to do something like that because the map was relatively flat. Here we kind of ended up putting in like an agricultural industry, lots of like factory processing in warehouses and stuff like that. Sort of just general surfaces, just kind of using big buildings to kind of fill up a large amount of space. A neighborhood here, sort of a rural neighborhood that's kind of actually like an interesting design. I think I like this sort of gridding, going with sort of a plateau, kind of making a little bit of a plateau effect. This is kind of our main city center, downtown hub. We have like in the inner area, we have like a boot-shaped park. Then we kind of have like a little bit of a just a very light tiered city vibe going on here with the downtown up here, lower density eco housing down here. We kind of wanted to fill this out completely, but time. We do have a campus here that we ended up. It doesn't look terrible. We put the basketball arena on the end here, but I don't know. This is just what we did. I mean, we got some industry, we got some campus, we got some random volcano nonsense, some park life. I don't know. We just try to do it all. Try to do everything.
Yeah, and I honestly think you did a great job of capturing that. I mean, the fact that you're able to roll in not only the industries DLC, not only the campuses DLC, not only all the assets and the terraforming. I mean, God, that was a lot of time spent on terraforming, but to still flush the city out in the way you did and add the park features in the middle, I think it was really extremely well done, all things considered. I know time constraints are always an issue in these builds, but yeah, that was really a fantastic job, man.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting me show it off.
For sure. Well, DC or one of your mods should definitely have dropped the voting link out there in chat so people can vote. And if not, make sure you get that out so people can start throwing that down.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot.
All right. Good luck to you, man. All right, we're going to pop over to Yed. Yed, how you doing, dude?
Good. How's it going?
Oh, man, it is going good. I see the thickest city I think I've ever seen in 2 hours here. 161,000 population is what you got up to here, huh?
Yes, sir.
That is pretty impressive. Well, walk us through here one more time. What was your strategy for this? What was your design idea? I noticed I like the vote Yed. I'm just going to comment on that because I kind of got lost in the mix here, but the giant vote Yed, I think is a brilliant and unique and creative way of approaching this, especially knowing the kinds of players you're going to be going up against. So
thank you. Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I just switched over to voice activity. All right. Actually, it was Pax's idea. He came in yesterday. He's like, hey, make a giant vote Yed and build around it. So we didn't exactly build around it, but we got it in there. But overall, basically the strategy was maximize population as quick as possible. And yeah, a few key points. So what we do is I build a weird way with roads. I found a weird way to do it with Anarchy. We call it Yedcraftian, which is based off of Lovecraft's work. And we basically, it's just purely to break as many pieces of rules of physics as possible. So that's what these weird road segments are that don't look like real things. Also with this, we call it Yedabout, is a tiered roundabout. But I mean, overall, yeah, it's good times. I tried to make some actual functioning train systems, which may have worked. I didn't really pay attention to it. But yeah, the original idea was maybe do something stylistic, and then I was like, you know what? I'm here for population, so we're just going to grid it out and see what happens.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I think you did a great job. I think the fact that it flushed out as much as it did came out pretty fantastic. It may not be everybody's preferred design choice as far as cities are going, but I think what you did was unique. It was creative, especially with those roundabouts and the way you sort of managed the traffic, despite the fact that it was a grid layout for a city. So very impressive the way you handled that, man.
Yeah, I also wanted at the beginning, so I realized yesterday that if I threw monuments down, I could immediately do high density and basically completely circumnavigate low density builds without having to worry about waiting for education. So that's why I threw all the fusion and the medical center and all that down first. Basically is a fast track to maximum population. The whole idea of the entire build was just maximize population.
I gotcha. Well, you definitely did a great job of doing that, man. So I wish you the best of luck in this. We're going to go ahead and pop over to the next contestant. So good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go over to Kiki. Kiki, hello.
Hello.
The shocking loud lemon busting in on you again.
It's all right, I turned you down.
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, I get it all the time. People are like, wow, you were loud.
Still too loud, apparently.
Oh.
Turn you down a little bit more.
My bad.
I'll turn you down my end.
Okay. Well,
you got a very good mic. There we go.
So this time we're going to be walking through the city. So talk us through some of the key features of your city, your design tips, sort of what you were going for this.
I kind of just winged it, if I'm honest.
That's fair. That's fair.
Obviously, I've tried to make use of bus lanes to help keep the traffic flowing nicely. We've got the main sort of roads going all the way round the outside, which has got the bus lanes on, residential on the inside of them, so that you can have all your bus stops and people walk to those. Car parks around the sort of busy commercial areas and office areas. I tried to keep the industrial out the way, but we found out that obviously the garbage wasn't being picked up, so I had to quickly put in a little bit over here.
I see.
Roundabouts, always good. Footpaths, putting the footpaths over the actual main roads. It just helps keeping people from crossing and holding the traffic up, really. Obviously, this is probably one of my most impressive ponds that I've done in such a short period of time. I'm really, really happy with how that's come out.
Yeah, Slayer and I were definitely talking about that. I love the willows around the edge of the pond there, and of course adding that extra detail of putting the rocks in the bottom of the pond I think was a very smart choice, because it makes it look far more realistic from above.
Oh, definitely. So but yeah, it's just making use of everything that I've got, really. I've got too many assets installed for my PC. It doesn't like it.
Well, honestly, I think it came out great. So were there any other features for the city that you were talking, or that you focused on?
Well, obviously, you've got the main highway coming in, and we've got some trees going down the line of there for sound suppression. So the people here don't start moaning about it. Obviously, the high density aren't too bothered, but the low density definitely don't like that. We've got schools. So we put the school next to the gym, the doctor's surgery with a little car park. I don't know, really. It's I should have prepared a bit more.
No, you know, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I like the focus that you did, 83. At least. Oh, I'm sorry?
83% on the traffic.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. 83% traffic, especially with only one main road coming in there. That's pretty impressive. So, Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit as we were going through your city build, how it seemed a little bit more European inspired than a lot of the other builds we're seeing. You know, do you feel that you got some of your influence from your local cities?
Well, I've got the British pack installed at the moment, as I've been sort of playing around with that. So I've just made and utilized that, and I always kind of build in this style rather than grids, because I find grids look really boring.
I gotcha. Well, I definitely like the way you laid it out, the unique designs. You can definitely see the neighborhoods broken out here. There's a very clearly defined downtown area. You did a great job on that park as well. And yeah, it looks like you managed to include a secondary park over here as well. So, I mean, great job on that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, again, I want to thank you again for competing in this. And
Pleasure.
Good luck to you on this as well.
Thank you.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to hold off just a little bit. Let's see if So Ever's up and running quite yet again. It seems that he had some difficulties, because I know in the VOD you're not going to be able to see chat, but he had his game crash, and he lost about 30 minutes of progress here. So, we're going to go ahead and allow him to be judged off his final product that you saw just a few minutes ago. Hopefully you guys have formulated an opinion on his city. Can we delay the voting so people can go back to the VOD and look? Yeah, we're going to let voting run for probably about another 10 minutes. So if you have not voted as of yet, or probably 5 minutes, it'll give people an opportunity to go back to his VOD, check it out, and check out his city design thus far. I'm going to go ahead and wait for him to load in a game here, so at least we can talk about what he had done. Now, it did look like towards the end, he was doing a lot of just like final adjustment, putting some trees down and stuff like that. So for the major part, I do believe that his city was pretty much completed before his game crash, but we're going to be finding that out here fairly shortly. So Everdream for the win. He deserves to win. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a stacked match right now, because this time we are using only audience votes as opposed to having a couple judges chime in on this as well. And KRX, by far and large, has the largest audience here. So everybody else in this competition is definitely the underdog. But Everdream in the past has already won 2 of these, despite the fact that KRX was also competing in them, and the audience got the final say on it. So, you know, there's always the possibility that some of these other guys could win, but make sure you go get your vote in as soon as possible here. Surveymonkey.com, the link's in chat, and you can go get your vote in there. So I am going to go ahead and pop in with So Everdream. It sounds like, or it looks like he's back on.
So that's nice.
Everdream?
Hello.
How much did you lose there, man?
Ha, a little too much. A little too much.
A little too much?
It's not the worst that it could be. We had an airport over here. That was, it was kind of slapped together, which isn't, bad. And then we had some traffic fixes over here. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And then, so like some traffic fixes, and that was really it. So the bulk of the city is fine and good to go. But there were a lot of traffic fixes that were done, and then the airport that's gone.
I gotcha. Yeah, that airport. I didn't realize that was base game. Somebody, I had to have a couple people tell me, because I was like, I have never seen that in game. And then I realized I never get up to a high enough population to actually put an international airport in. So that's probably part of it. So you know the drill, man. Walk us through the city here. Tell us about the different areas. We're going to give people a little bit of extra time here to go back and look at your VOD too, so they can get a fuller idea. But yeah, talk us through here.
Yeah, definitely. So the one thing that I knew there was a centerpiece that I wanted to have in here. So that's kind of what this courthouse is. So that's kind of, it's not the best part of the city, but that's kind of where we're at with like the focal point. You come into the city, you see the courthouse, and it goes through like that. So from there, that was really the most planned thing that I had. So from there, the roads just kind of diverge into all these different areas. So I should shut that. Give me two.
Okay.
Streamlabs chatbot. Okay. So from there, all the roads just diverge. And then, so we have high density pretty much in the center, which is normally what we do. And then we have like the unique buildings, and then we have like, so City Skylines doesn't really have your cul-de-sacs, so we do roundabouts to kind of give it that same vibe. So we've just got a bunch of low density over here. And then, so I wanted a nice commercial strip. So that's what we did here. We added energy efficient parking. So it's actually underground parking with solar panels that provide all the electricity that we need for the city.
Oh, yeah, I remember these. Yeah. Okay.
So it's a really cool asset, which I just found, I think, like last week.
And it's an individual. You put 3 of those in, you said?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So there's just 3 individual underground parking, and then enough parking, for stadium.
Perfect.
A lot of parking. So then I wanted to put a casino strip over here, and then I quickly realized that wasn't going to happen. So we just put a nice opera house there instead, and just kind of decorated that, made it a darker kind of shade, as opposed to the rest of the city that's green and brighter, which is also the same route we went with our airport. And then we kind of put the away from home university, on the other side of the river. So that way, kids can get that full-on college experience and live at college. And then we added our casino area. So we did wind up including a strip for the casino, which this kind of just really small details in it with the parking, and that was really kind of it. And then from here, this was where the airport was. We had some housing here.
Mm-hmm.
But then the cool new thing that I learned how to do, courtesy of Reddit, naturally, is an underground park, this is where actually our game crashed.
Yeah, talk to me about those birds, because I looked at your stream, there was just a million.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't even tell you. Something in here, in this park, brought a bunch of birds with it. I don't know which asset did it. So I've never had that happen, but I know it was from something in here.
And then they just went away?
I had to add the no seagulls mod.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's, yeah. But yeah, so this was kind of something I wanted to try out and do because I don't know, the idea of an underground park, it was fascinating to me. So it's rough around the edges because time, but I thought it was really cool to include something like that. You have this glass panel and, I just thought it was a cool idea to have.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of, that's the whole thing. Then we had our beach area as well. So just a nice little strip of beach houses. And that's pretty much it. We've just got a little bit of everything. And then there's like smaller details all throughout. Traffic was fixed, I promise, but things happen. Games crash.
It happens. It happens. Yeah, I really like how you capitalize on that little water feature in the middle too. I was making the comment that from the top down, your city almost looked like a CPU chip. The bottom, with like the weird shapes. I really like the little circle design you did over on the left too. So we're going to go ahead and give the players about 2 more minutes to vote on this. Make sure, of course, that you got that link out there for yourself and the voting link. And yeah, man, good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, popping back in with Slayer now. So Slayer, we're going to put 2 minutes on the clock here just to give everybody their last few minutes to get their votes in on this. If you have not voted as of yet, it's your last chance. Go get it in. The SurveyMonkey link should be available in everybody's chat. And yeah, get those votes in. We're going to go ahead and be announcing the winner as soon as that's up. So final thoughts on this, Slayer. Talk us through positives and negatives here.
Okay. I think I actually really liked where KRX ended up when he just zoomed out, and I think the mountain could use just a little more time, and I think he probably knows that already. I think he was going for something. I don't know if he quite got it finished, but the base of the mountain, that one kind of area in the middle, is gorgeous to me. It looks realistic for something I think he was trying to get done relatively quickly. And maybe catch up a little bit. I think he did a solid job there. And that's kind of like, in the grand scheme, I think that's what kind of sold me on what he's done thus far. I do think, like, if I were to say, hey, try something different, I would have said maybe, less terraforming, less, building up ground and stuff like that. Although I know he likes to do tiered work. He likes to have elevation changes, but I think he would have been able to get a little bit further in some areas. I'd almost like to see him try like Everdream strategy with going with like a 1 square build. Kiggy, I think he's onto something. I think the trees helped a lot, filling in a lot of the spaces that he had, the dead spaces.
Mhm.
What did he say about the European theme? Was that something he was going for?
He honestly said he was just kind of winging it. So
Okay.
yeah, I think it seems like he did draw a lot of that inspiration from his local community, but maybe just subconsciously.
Yeah, I think that's what I would have wanted to see more a little bit from Kiggy, was like how he would fill in those areas, or like if he did pick more of a theme, like how he could have taken up some of those spaces, because it still looks a little bit unfinished for such a tight area. And I know he focused in, he did some hyper focus areas where he did like, the pond, which looks gorgeous. That's all I would have liked to maybe have seen there. But I think overall, like, he's got kind of his own style, and I feel like he should embrace maybe the European look there.
Gotcha.
Everdream
just to stop you there.
out?
Yeah, voting is up, so we're closing that. Voting is officially closed, folks. We'll give you 30 seconds here just to go over those, so people can get one last impression.
I think Everdream stuck to his style. Still did a great job. I think I would have liked to have seen, he threw in a lot of creativity in this one. He had some creativity last time. I think he keeps that pretty balanced, and that's smart. Like, he's got a plan when he goes in. And for Yeti, I mean, I hate that he had a crash in the middle, because I really would have liked to see what he could have got up to in terms of population. But playing definitely the Taraja route, right, with some mods, but still load it up with seeing how far he could get, and that's an impressive feat to accomplish. 160,000 people. I mean, geez.
Yeah, that is very impressive. All right, well, I am closing voting here, and we're gonna go to the final count. It all comes down to this, man. We had 100 people vote on this. 100 in total.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
That is a lot of numbers. And right here, the final count is in. So starting from the bottom, can I do this in a way that I can show it on stream? I don't think I can right now. Yeah, there's no way for me to show this and dramatically reveal. I gotta come up with a system for that for next time. But just going over the numbers with you, coming in 4th place here today, Kiggy with 16 votes. 3rd place with 20 votes. We have the Yed with 21 votes to 43 votes for 1st place. A landslide winner goes out to KRX. So Everdream coming in 2nd place, but KRX is going to be the victor here today. And I think it's very impressive what he's done. So this time I do want to make sure he gets words. So I'm going to pop over and congratulate him here, Slayer. Actually, yeah. I'm going to pop over there. All right, KRX, I'm coming back to you, man. You are officially the victor here today. So congratulations, man. Congratulations. Hopefully I'm not talking over you, though.
Hey, what's up, dude?
There we go.
We're just saying hi to Yed, is what we're doing here.
Awesome. Well, yeah, man, you took it down. You had 40, let me hit this again, 43 votes going out for you. So nearly half. There was 100 total votes on this. And 43% going over to you, man. Congratulations.
Well, where did the judge go? Where'd Slayer go?
Oh, Slayer, like I said, we brought him on as a guest host on this one. So he wasn't judging this time.
So there's no judging.
There's no judging. Community judging. So that's where we went with it. With only one judge, that's all we can really do. So that's what we ended up doing.
Gotcha.
But yeah, man, audience voted. They voted for you. So you had the most impressive city design according to the audience. And yeah, congratulations, dude. I just want to pop in and make sure you knew.
Thanks, dude. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, for sure. And of course,
thanks for hosting this, Lemon Pops.
For sure. Yeah, I really do hope that you enjoy these, and in some capacity, I hope to have you on possibly as a judge for the next one.
That'd be hype.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. Well, I'm going to pop out of here and leave you to it, but take care and congratulations on winning this, dude, for sure. All right. So that's it. Slayer, down to just you and me. Oh my God. And I keep hiding your video camera.
No worries, man.
But yeah, man, again, thank you so much for coming on for this. It's been a pleasure having you as a guest host here today. And yeah, Karex did want to know, even though your vote didn't really count this time, who'd you pick?
It was close. I think I picked KRX actually.
Pick
This
KRX?
time, yeah. The only thing, I it was very tight between Everdream and KRX. I'll say that much. I had a tough time picking between the two because again, I feel like KRX. I wish he would have maybe done a little less terraforming just to see what he could do, a little bit more in a couple spots, but. I liked where he finished. I mean, he filled it in. He knows the game. He knows how quickly he can do stuff. Everdream again came in with a solid plan and has some creativity in there. I was just digging kind of like I guess where KRX was going with it, especially in the lower parts of the map, in the middle there, and stuff like that. So that was my vote this time around.
Well, super cool, man. Yeah, Kiggy's asking me. I feel like I'm on the spot now because I'm gonna have to say it. I honestly, if it was up to me. Everdream, and it's not anything personal. I personally prefer his build style. I like the geometric builds. I like the 90 degrees to 90 degrees to 90 degrees turns. Yeah. I like the roundabouts. I like personally that kind of stuff. So I think KRX does very fantastic cities given time. It did just barely because it was so large and spread out, it didn't get the opportunity to get flushed out like Everdreams did. Kiggy, I think your city was great, man. I think the potential there, had it been able to be filled in, had you been able to fill in a lot of those open gaps in the city, I think it would have definitely been a contender in my book. And of course, Yed, I don't know that anybody will ever vote for the biggest population in a creative build. But I just gotta say, I mean, there's no downsizing the fact that 160,000 population in 2 hours is more than pretty much most of us could do. So very impressive across the board there. Slayer, it's been great having you, dude. Thank you so much for coming out for this, and hope to catch you for next month.
Yeah, man. Take care, chat. It's been fun, guys.
Yeah, and guys out there, definitely go check these people out. Slayer. Not Slayer 3K88. I can't even adjust it because it's built into my graphic, but Slay 3K is the name for this co-judge. Definitely go check him out. KRX, Everdream, the Yed, and Kiggy, all in chat. Thank you guys so much. Isaacnar, I'm going to just cut out here. Isaacnar, thank you so much, dude. 10 gifted subs. Holy crap. Given out to the Midgeon, the Pax, Connor, Souls, Rusty Bucket, Bliss Adu, Bob Stowe, Mr. Magoo, Miss Kryptonite, and Sheeby. You guys are all officially subs here in this stream now. So thank you all so much for that. Yeah, Storm XL. It's good to have you. I missed your name right in the middle of that too, I think. Fear Rider, thank you for the follow, dude. And everybody else who came out for this, seriously, sincerely, thank you. We're going to be trying to have the next one on November 12th. For that one, we are going to have 2 judges this time. And yeah, we're going to have some possibly new competitors in this one as well. The plan with this is we would love to have this start happening bi-weekly, and possibly get some more community involvement in terms of Paradox to possibly see if we can get some kickback for you guys, some way to give back to the community members who come out and vote on this. So for everybody who came out, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you guys all have a great night. Sort of, because I'm not actually leaving right this second. That was just the awkward moment I was going to leave that on. God, we ended up with 100 votes on that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me take these off because my head is sweating. Oh, you've been here the entire time, Spooky Kitty? Awesome. Well, I'm going to be seeing you real soon. Hi, Quan. I'm going to take just a minute here to chat with you guys because I didn't get really a chance to chat with you. So seriously, Hoop, Quan, Storm, everybody else who came out for this, all the follows today, you guys are really fantastic. You guys are truly fantastic. On a Tuesday? The Midgeon? Wait, on a Tuesday? What? Is it a Tuesday? Is it the 12th of Tuesday? It's supposed to be on Saturday. Oh my God, the 9th. The 9th. I'm sorry, not the 12th, the 9th. Yeah, Tuesday. No. It'll be, I'm sorry, on the 9th. I haven't looked at a calendar in like a week. I've been sick this entire week. I've been just dying. So you can probably hear it in my voice, like talking at this point. Well, maybe you can't hear it. I mean, maybe this mic just always makes me sound good, or maybe I sound like shit right now, but who knows? I'm definitely losing my voice again though. So yeah, Kiggy, man, thank you so much for competing in this, dude. I really do appreciate it. I look sick? What is that supposed to mean? I feel sick. Oh, more pasting. Yeah, well, I'm not feeling the greatest. But I'll be okay. Got my son coming over today. I'm really looking forward to that. So, yeah. That's my next plan tonight. So I'm not going to be streaming very long. But it sounds pretty good. I'm glad that despite the fact that I have half a voice right now. Yeah, despite the fact that I have half a voice right now. Yes, I wanted to show, this was something I wanted to show off too. So I finally put up a TwitchCon display. This is the TwitchCon bag. This is Catnap sticker, Girl with Yellow Spoon, the Potato Aimer Squad, Daddy Croon, my actual, God, this is so weird being backwards. My affiliate badge for getting in. This was a letter that Bella sent me a long time ago. And it was just colorful and covered in stickers, and I loved it, so I put it there. This is, I think, this is Kellamall's pin. This was a card that Solus made for me. He made specific, like, custom printed cards for everybody he met, or that he was planning on meeting, so I just happened to be cool, and he put me a cute little message on there. Yeah, so it was super cool of him to do that. I thought that deserved display. And Quan, you remember this? I didn't put this on there because I didn't want to put a hole through it because it's only paper. Those are all like stickers and stuff like that, or cardboard. But I still have this. This is something that I was considering putting on there, but I decided last minute it wouldn't. I just didn't have a good spot for it. Plus, I wanted to leave some real estate for anything else anybody sends. You know, if people want to send some stuff for me to hang on the wall, the viewer support wall, we will do that. You'll be up for it again. Awesome, Kiggy. Yeah. See, like I said to people earlier, my biggest vision for this would really be to have it prized, to have a prize pool for it, to have some game keys to give away from Paradox to people who are watching in the audience. I would love to see obviously 2 judges so that we can have like a good dynamic for voting and give people a little more insight. I was thinking even possibly having everybody wants the Destiny stream. You know what? I will stream Destiny. How's tomorrow night sound? I can do a Destiny stream tomorrow night. Maybe I can get some people together and we can do a raid. Because I did make a Lemon Pops clan. And I don't know how many of you guys have done raids in Destiny, but yeah, I've really been I put 40 hours in Destiny this week. I'm not even kidding, because I've been too sick to do much of anything other than sit here and play video games. And that's the sickest part is I can sit here and play video games, but I couldn't speak. My voice was basically like this all week. And so it was like a struggle, because even after I started feeling better, I'm I can't talk, and streaming without a microphone just hurts. You're at 950 on 2 characters. I gotcha. I'll be fine, Quan. Lemon ASMR. I can't even do ASMR right now because my voice is screwed. All right. Well, yeah, man. Seriously, I can't say thank you guys enough. I really can't. How do I get in the clan? I have no idea who. You've got 2 950 characters. You got 2 950 characters and you don't know how to get in a clan, man? You can do it. You can do it. All right. Well, Isaac Nart, dude, seriously, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. I don't even know if I saw you say anything in chat. You just hit us with 10 gifted subs from the silence. And that was it. Yeah, Pax, everybody else who came out today, I really do appreciate you. Oh, you need a link? Well, tell me how to get a link. I got to take off, man. Next Friday? Yeah, Mystic, I'll be back on 7 p.m. tomorrow, but of course you'll probably be asleep. Yeah. And I will, I'm going to take off here in just a minute. I am the lurker. Well, you're a much appreciated lurker, bro. You know, I love you. Yeah, send me a message on Discord. I'll get it sorted. I'm getting a bunch of messages right now from people. So I got to get this deal with, and I have got to go. I've got to go. It's time to go. We going to raid? Yeah, let's see. Let's see which one of these folks are still streaming. Are all 4 of them still streaming? Because, I mean, we could definitely toss it over to the winner, but I have a feeling KRX is not hurting for viewers right now. Yeah, and I would like to show some support. Which one has the fewest? Kiggy has the fewest. We're going to throw the raid over to Kiggy. We'll give that bottom boost over to Kiggy. So, actually, no, I think he's gone. Is he gone? Is he not here right now? He's talking in chat. He's talking in chat. He must be there. I'm just going to say, I'm raiding you. He's there. Oh, he's just got no cam on right now. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, so let's go hit Kiggy with the raid. How do I do this? Drink some tea and rest? Yeah, I'm going to go pick up my son, and then rest is somewhere on the agenda in there. I don't know where. Raid Kiggy 85. There we go. Boss Ross, it's good to see you in, man. Oh, you're showing up right at the end. A D2 raid? Oh, yeah. Yeah. A D2 raid. I did mean that. I did. Yeah, Boss Ross, I just did, I've been out live almost 3 hours now, but definitely check out the VOD, man. And I'm also going to be uploading this on YouTube. And I hope you guys enjoyed, because it was a really fun competition today. It was. I know, Boss Ross, it's like right at the tail end. But thank you guys so much for coming out for this. Go show some love over to Kiggy. I think... Yeah. I mean, that was the whole point of all this. Show some love to these other streamers. So yeah, guys, I will see you tomorrow night. I will be on at 7 p.m. and I will see you then. Goodbye.